Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
Guys, we are four people, four little women. Obviously, we know who Beck's.
Guys, are we the little women?
Canada gets sad, and then him and German lady have sex in the woods.
Bo was getting pegged by the fucking golden.
And so it looks like a.
Bo was getting pegged by the doorknob. Holy shit!
It looks like we're filming a porno, but we're not.
Alright guys, we are here with episode 101 on October 32nd.
October 31st.
Are you guys ready?
It's
October
Halloween. We're in costume for Halloween.
It's true.
And it is 60 degrees Fahrenheit in Belgrade.
It's 52 degrees in where me and Nikola are in our land. Nikola and
It's 51 degrees in Boston.
It's 61 degrees
It
in
is. How
Beckville.
did you know that?
61 degrees in Beckville. Wow.
Yo,
Guys, what do you
that's
think Beckville
crazy.
is like? It's just a bunch of Becks talking about the Owl House.
Well,
I think
then
it's a
they
town in
definitely would
Texas.
not pass the Bechdel test.
They would not pass the Bechdel test.
Which one?
Both.
The one
You
about
think
the
any
owl.
women are staying in Beckville, Uri?
I guess not.
I'm
I don't think
too
the town would
Sigma for
survive if
them.
there's only men in the town. I'm just saying. That's not how towns work.
That is how towns work.
So guys, what's everyone's costumes?
Well,
we're gonna start
mine's
with
pretty-
the most lame one, Nikola. So what is?
The exact same fucking joke.
No, it's different this time.
You said
So-
second lame is the first time.
Yeah,
we
this is our
recorded.
second time recording the first 3 minutes. If you
Guys, that's the theme of episode 100 through 200. It's gonna
We
be
have to
two
do that for
recordings every week.
episode,
every single time.
Every single episode.
Every
we have to
single
do two
time. We
takes.
gotta restart at some point.
So essentially, I am a fighter pilot, but more specifically, I mean, I got this costume just as a fighter pilot, but specifically, this costume is Pete Maverick Mitchell, Top Gun. So I am co-president of Scientology. I am Tom Cruise.
Have you watched Tom Cruise?
Yes, I have watched Tom Cruise.
Are
No,
you
I've
in
watched both Top
Scientology?
Guns. I
Bro
am
has
not in
watched Tom
Scientology.
Cruise.
I should have dressed up as the Scientology building.
I'm in Scientology.
Oh, I don't think you should have done that.
All right. So I think Uri went back to the first. I think Beck went back to the first Thanksgiving. Sorry, I think Uri went back to the first Thanksgiving.
Guys, we
take
should
cookies off the
restart. We gotta
menu.
restart. He messed
Oh
up.
no!
So Beck, as the second lamest costume, tell us yours.
Uri, I think you've mistaken. I am the coolest costume.
You're just a
Yes,
jacket.
I am.
Beck.
Scratching on my
It's just
door.
a jacket for like
I
winter.
am Ryan Gosling.
Wait, guys, give me
Blade
1
Runner.
second. My dog's scratching on my door. Watch this.
You guys don't. I have like.
Oh, look at
I-
that!
I
Oh,
prepared for this
wow!
costume.
Look at that dog! Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh wow!
He's trapped with me now. He'll be
Oh,
in the
no.
background until he starts scratching the door.
I
again.
have prepared for this costume by getting stuck in a 6-month depression. I mean, did you guys try that
So you
hit
want
I
too?
think he wants to
'Cause,
get
like,
out.
Look,
oh wow, that's
Becca,
really
you-
cool.
Becca, you're about to die in the snow.
yeah, no, I am gonna slowly bleed out in the snow after
It's
this.
very
episode.
masculine to do that.
It is the masculine urge to do it is unbearable.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
turkey because don't eat me.
Don't eat him. We gotta go.
I
Back
think he's
to the
going
first
back to the first Thanksgiving to
Take
take
turkeys
turkeys
off the
off the
menu.
menu.
Awesome joke.
Have you guys?
Okay,
Have
now,
you guys heard
guys,
that Beck's someone at Beck's school actually wrote the movie?
yes, one of the writers for Freebirds works at Emerson as a teacher,
That's
and I'm gonna
wicked.
try to get his class.
How-
And you haven't gotten the Roger Rabbit class, Beck?
Okay, so there was this class that I sent to Aiden because that course registration's happening, and it was an entire semester-long lecture class dedicated to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And that is a crazy-ass thing to do, because I don't see how you analyze that film for an entire semester.
Easily, Beck. Do you know the term "bump the lamp"? Clearly not.
Yeah,
Wait, so
No,
Beck, your teacher
because that-
wrote
I've bumped a lot of lamps,
That term
Aiden.
came from that movie.
Beck, your teacher wrote Freebird?
Yeah, not my current teacher. I just
Because like, how are
one
they?
of the teachers that-
Wasn't Freebird bad? I thought it was Freebird was bad.
No, it was a very good movie. What are you
Wait,
talking
I'm,
about?
I'm missing.
Freebird
I'm
is
missing
the
good
only
in
movie where they go
migration.
back in time to the first things.
I'm mixing up with Migration.
They're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to take turkeys off the menu.
That's a
Off the
good
menu.
movie. But guys, we have to say the elephant in the room here. Aiden won the presidency. We wanted Beck to win.
Aiden did.
Aiden won the
We voted
president.
him. He beat me narrowly. Hopefully, I can still get VP.
I thought Beck won the presidency.
We
If I
tied.
remember the map
We
correctly.
tied, but he let me win.
I see.
Yeah.
It wasn't close.
Because I
It
won
wasn't
marbles.
close.
I
He
won.
did win the marbles. We settled it in a Puyo Puyo Tetris 1v1, and he beat
Yeah.
me.
Anyway, my costume is John Arc Ruby. I don't actually have the full thing on because I don't want to wear the side armor pieces because they fall off my arms. But-
This is definitely the most impressive of the three of us. I will agree.
Sure.
It's 4 people.
Tell
Beck.
yourself that.
What? It's much more impressive than either you or Uri, Nikola.
Yeah, no. I'm saying
Sure,
Aiden,
tell
yours is
yourself
the
that.
most
I know,
impressive
and-
of the group.
Yeah, and then Nikola just said
Yeah.
sure, as if to say that you're wrong.
Because like all of us, we just bought like stuff for it. Aiden like actually made a chess piece
And
and shit.
You know what I
Arguably-
think I can do to really get
Arguably,
into
that's
character?
worse as an adult, because as an adult, you don't want to go too intense into costumes, because then you're a lame.
No, you want to
loser.
go all out in terms
No,
of the costume.
Halloween is the one day you get to wear a costume.
Nah, you gotta be cat
wow.
ears and you're a sexy Catwoman. You know that's what you gotta do.
Halloween's the one day of the year where you don't.
That's
where I
lame
don't
as
have to
shit.
wear
And
a
my
mask.
costume's epic as
AKA
fuck.
Did
Dexter
anybody
quote.
get your costume, Aiden?
Aiden, you don't know
Yeah,
how
someone
many
did.
female Ruby fans there are.
Someone
they were
did get
swarming
my
over it.
costume. Yeah,
Yeah, all the Ruby fans are closeted.
exactly.
Beck, show us the shirt, please.
I am not wearing.
I'm also not wearing it.
He did, didn't you? Like, no, you didn't wear it day of.
No, I wore an orange shirt underneath because the hoodie is or it has like orange underneath, but I don't have orange underneath.
Yeah.
But I did like make the hoodie have the rabbit design. You can tell now. But I did actually like make.
Did you like tape it or like how did you get
This
it?
is
on?
ironed on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I've
Okay.
been wearing it. It's a really nice shirt. I've been wearing it out.
Yeah, somebody might
but
wore that to
guys, does
McDonald's.
anybody have any Halloween stories they want to partake for this over the Halloween week? Because it was a long Halloween for me.
Wait, didn't I already talk about the 2 movies I watched on
No,
Halloween?
we didn't.
No.
I kind of did because it got into my top 3 movies.
Yeah, but you
Oh, it
didn't.
did. Yeah.
but
yeah.
you
But
didn't.
you didn't get to talk about them officially. Okay. So I
So
think
I can
everyone
talk
must do
about-
their singles.
On Halloween, I watched 2 movies back to back. With my friends, of course, not by myself because I have friends.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Watching movies alone, that's cringe. I never watch any movies.
I've
alone.
only, how many times of this kind of section have I done that? I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I
I
have.
don't think I ever watched
So
these with
anyway,
someone else.
we started the night with the most important thing, and that is the $6 bowl from Chipotle because there was a discount if you went in costume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So I did that.
I also did that.
I got my food. They oversalted that thing. That shit was so salty, it was insane.
Chipotle was
Um,
closed today. I tried to eat Chipotle today, but it was
That's
closed.
unfortunate.
It
Yeah,
wasn't.
but we ate our food. We got ready to watch the movie, and we started with Scream.
I
So,
have seen
This is the
Scream.
original Scream. It's a very iconic movie. There's a reason it's so referenced in pop culture.
I think
It's not a bad movie at all.
I think it's really good.
I
what-
think
what did
it's
you
like-
think- what did you think of the twist? Did you know the twist going?
I did know the twist before watching because I have watched it before just a really long time ago.
And how did that make the rest of the movie knowing the twist?
I think even with the twist, half the shit they do does not make sense because there's no way even with 2 people they can move that quickly.
Yeah,
But Nick, it's 2. It's
So-
not 1 person.
it is 2
That's
guys,
what-
and
That's
one of
what I
them.
just said. Even with 2
There's
people,
two
there's no
people.
way.
And
they
then
can
one
move
of
that
them is
quickly.
Springtrap.
No,
Yes,
he's Scooby Doo.
he's not okay. He's not Scooby Doo. He's Shaggy, and he
Shaggy.
is Springtrap.
he wasn't. Yeah, Matthew Lillard, great actor.
He is a good.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
But
Not
anyways,
dead.
I gave it
Not
4
dead.
stars. I gave it a nice 4 stars
Wait,
because
Nicola,
I think it's a pretty good
Is
movie.
Scream in your top 3 or 4?
No.
No.
No, it's
It's
the
the movie
other
that came
movie he
after
put
it.
in his top
It's,
three.
it's the parody of Scream that's in his top 3.
Yes, because I did say this movie is very impactful to pop culture, but it's not as impactful as Scary Movie 1,
I don't
which
think
I
that's
watched
true.
right after.
I
That is
disagree.
100% true. So many lines and things from Scary Movie show up all the time, and so many other things. I see them all the time, but I do not see the stuff in Scream in many other places.
Like what? Name
Like
one.
Scream, I only see stuff from Scream.
Because
like
Scream
in
is still
some
coming
horror
out.
movies. Yeah, but okay, you don't understand, but still.
What else then do you have for? Do you have in terms of like?
So basically, I gave Scream 4 stars because I'm like, it's a good movie. I like it. But my top 3 movie, I gave it 4.5 stars. Scary Movie. This is my number 3 movie now because it's so funny. It's so good. After watching Scream, I get every single reference. It makes it so much better, and it's so funny. It's just like, it's a good movie. It's also well put together, and like every single joke lands, and every single character, even though they're like a stereotype, it's so funny. They have every single stereotype imaginable in this movie, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's just a good movie. It's
I guess
my
I have
number
to
3.
watch it or something. I haven't seen it in like a while.
It is
Yeah.
a really funny movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch it, I do recommend watching Scream right beforehand. It makes it really good.
No, watch Scream and the night, or I saw.
I saw. I know
I
what you
saw
did
the
last summer.
TV glow.
I saw what you did last summer. Watch that as
Ooh,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it takes from both of those movies.
Yeah.
And then a lot of other horror movies, but it's more obvious the other.
All right. The next couple things. The next 2 things I'm gonna watch because they're my solo things are the stuff I had to watch in film comp for the school movies.
Nice.
That being
Ah.
La La Land.
Challengers.
Oh,
So we can now reignite this argument.
Okay.
Because
there was a big challengers
the
debate.
movie was average. I would say in terms of quality, the movie was produced fine. In terms of story, that shit's shit.
It's
What?
so bad, dude.
The
It's
story
so
is
bad.
shit.
What do you mean?
The movie, even the cinematography kind of messes up
What?
sometimes. Like, explain to me why there's just some random shots of Toshi just like in slow motion for no reason all of a sudden. There's
True.
just a couple of them.
For
no
It's
reasons.
fun, It's
Um,
intense.
And then the final showdown where all of a sudden they're like, you know what we can do? Let's attach a camera to a ball.
Ball, yeah.
You know what we
That's
can do?
cool
Let's
as
do
shit.
first person POV for no reason. They just decide to do it for never did it for the rest of the movie. No reason to do it. And all of a sudden they just say, fuck it, let's do it. And it takes
Does
you
it
out of the
look
movie.
cool?
It's so jarring. It does not look cool. It's so jarring. It's so bad.
I think
does not work at all.
I think
Cool.
the one song they have is not that good.
Oh yeah.
They
But
do
even then,
keep
the music.
repeating that
So
one.
my one review for this is that Djokovic would have soloed. Put Djokovic in that arena, he would have won every single time. Holy
You
shit!
say that
It would've been
assuming
so
you
much
know
more
You
who
think we know
Djokovic
fucking
is.
tennis, Nikola?
Yeah, well then you can't rate this movie if you don't. So
My grandma played tennis. You know
Exactly.
that one. What was that one tennis movie they made about that one really famous lady?
Bend it like Beckham.
Movie.
I don't think that was the name.
That was it.
Yeah, Billie Jean King. You know that movie?
A battle of sexes.
That movie. Yeah,
King Richard.
my grandma was friends with her and played with her, and her character totally would have been in the movie if she wasn't on her honeymoon.
No. That's
Fake.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing I watched was Little Women. This movie is mid. I gave it 3
Okay.
stars. It's average. It's mid. Might even be below average. I don't know. It's mid. It's boring. It's not amazing.
Nikola just
I
named
think
like,
it is
2 movies
the
that
one
have
miss
some
Greta
really-
Gerwig has.
It's
I thought it was
literally
fine.
it is quite literally just Timothy Charlemagne unsuccessfully rizzing up multiple women until eventually getting with Pew.
No. Underage women.
We forgot about
Isn't
that.
he also
one.
underage?
That doesn't change the fact, Nikola.
It doesn't change it totally does, actually.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure his character is also the same age. I think I'm like 60% sure he's the same age as Joe.
This bodes really well for Beck's future. Underage. No, I thought it was an okay movie. I don't particularly like Little Women all that much.
It's
I
an
thought it was
okay movie. It's fine. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's fine. It's an okay movie. It's the review I went with was the plot of the movie is just Timothy Charlemagne trying to rizz up multiple women. But I think my secondary, what I would have done if I didn't do that is I can't believe Amy dies of cancer.
He does actually just die.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Beth dies.
Guys, Beck's sending me reels right now. on
Beth dies in the
Instagram.
movie. Beth dies in the movie. Spoiler alert! If you guys know that one video, guess
Okay,
what?
what did you
Beth
think when
dies.
Saul
What is that?
Goodman
Seinfeld
showed
or is that
up?
Friends? I can't. I think that's Seinfeld. Beth dies. So that's a spoiler. She dies of her heart. She gets a heart attack because what's it called? She has scarlet fever.
Dude, our
which is just
teacher,
cancer.
dude, she told us that she was dead, like before the movie. She's like, oh yeah,
Well,
she dies.
We
It's like,
read the book before the movie, so yeah, we know.
she doesn't die in the book. She dies in the second.
She dies in
book.
the second book.
Second
yeah,
half. Yeah.
the second book.
Is it two what?
Yeah.
There's two books. Yes,
I think
Little
it's
Women is
set-
split
Oh, I
into
read,
book.
like, two
Little Women
books.
is split into two books.
Oh, I
The
guess
movie
I
consists of
wrote a version where it was like both books in one.
yeah. Well, the movie
Oh.
consists of the first movie, the
There is
second.
Little Women
The
fan
movie
fiction.
consists of the first book, the second book, and some of the play.
It is annoying how I had to like analyze each shot of a scene of Little Women.
Oh my
Like,
god!
dude,
I need to do that as
43
well. I'm
separate
going to need to do that
shots.
as well. Really annoying.
It made me want to kill myself.
I think I'm
Little
doing the
Women makes me
scene.
wanna kill myself.
I'm doing the scene where
Don't.
Beth dies as the scene to analyze, where I'm starting with Beth recovering when she was a kid and Amy or Joe going downstairs and seeing her sitting with the mom and it's Christmas and everybody's happy, intercutting to the present where Beth is dead and
That's
the mom
that's
is
the scene I
depressed.
did. Yeah.
That's the scene. I'm doing that scene as well.
I did the one where they're in the attic.
I didn't have to do that.
Guys, we are 4 people, 4 Little Women. Obviously, we know who Beck's.
Guys,
the
are
one who
we
did-
the Little Women?
Are we the Little Women
Isn't
of
there like a
podcasting?
book called Little
Wait,
Men?
but that means because I'm the youngest. I'm Pew.
Yeah,
No.
and Beck dies because
No, but here's the thing though, because Uri is the most insufferable one, so that means he's Amy.
I think
But he's also not the most attractive.
That's
that is,
true. So it's me.
no. But we all know the one who dead.
It's
Yeah,
Beck.
everybody can agree that
Wow.
Beth is Beck.
Yeah, we can all
It
agree.
even it's almost.
I
It's
mean,
like
it
there's
matches
three
the
letters.
first
I mean,
two
he plays
letters.
piano. He dies.
Exactly.
So-
Beck, you
It's
play
It
piano?
matches up
Beck.
perfectly.
Those are my two character traits.
Beck has
Yeah,
also
everybody knows.
definitely had scarlet fever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beck has the face of a
They,
baby.
they
who's had
renamed it
blue
they
fever.
renamed it Blue Fever after I
Blue
got it.
Fever. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Um,
Blue
Well, that's
Fever
those
is-
were all my solo stuff.
hmm,
Everything else, I think somebody else has also watched. So
cool. Should I do my solo things?
no,
sure.
because I want to say a story.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a story.
Ooh.
A
That's a
Okay.
tale of
story.
wonder and mischief. No,
And mischief.
no.
What the
He
fuck is he
committed
talking about?
crime.
I committed a crime. I'm the
Nobody
Riddler.
gives a fuck. Or
The Riddler.
But so this Saturday, I do a few student films over my time at my college, and I've done around. See, so I was thinking that on Thursday we have like an email link from a teacher who like sends student film. Like if you want to be in the student film, just reach out to this person, like describe what the movie is, and so. I look at the email list for this week, and then like I'm thinking, oh, I want to be part of a film this week. I haven't been one for like 3 weeks, so I might join another student film. And so I joined this student film. It's a 3-hour shoot between 12 to 3 on Saturday, so not too bad.
Oh wow.
And so it's a movie called strange attractions, and apparently
Interesting.
it's like
Is it a romance?
kind of. So it's supposed to be a parody. It's for this film festival called the Golden Doorknob Awards, where in each film you have to have like a golden doorknob in your movie.
Wait, they're just copying the Celsius Oscars.
Who I copied from someone else.
Yeah. It's been a festival for like 30 years or something, and so in this movie, so it's sort of a parody of My Strange Addiction. You know that show.
I do know that show.
Strange addiction is jacking off.
And so in this movie,
That's my
I'm not
normal
the main
age.
character in this movie, but essentially the main character is a guy who's in love with the golden doorknob, and he's like dating the golden doorknob. And then eventually the movie ends with the guy finds out that the golden doorknob is cheating on him with me. With me. Comes into the room.
How ugly is this other guy?
I know, that's
So
kind
he
of
comes
crazy.
into the room and he finds me like without a shirt on with the golden doorknob on the bed. And I'm beforehand, he's hearing me moaning like Goldie, Goldie outside the door. And so I have a little image.
Bo was getting pegged by the fucking golden.
And so it looks like a
Bo was getting pegged by the doorknob. Holy shit.
it looks like we're filming a porno, but we're not. So, but here it is.
Oh, you have
That's
the video?
me. No, that's the picture.
Wow.
So I'm on the bed. You can see very hot.
Oh my
He did,
god.
in fact,
So,
get pegged by the
Will
golden
you send
doorknob.
us this movie when it's done?
Yeah, sure.
I want to see him get pegged by the golden
You
doorknob.
don't see it. It's just very implied, and I also
But you do
yell.
get pegged.
It's implied.
I think
It is
I
implied
think
that
I
you get
fuck
pegged.
it. I gonna be honest.
No, it's a doorknob. I think you get pegged by the doorknob.
Who knows?
I mean, you would not be the one moaning like that if it was the other way
Okay.
around.
No, it would be dong dong dong.
Exactly, yeah. We tung, tung, tung,
So
tung, tung.
watch out for that, Uri fans. More content coming your way.
All negative
Furry
4
fans.
people.
Yeah. He's not even a
That's
fan
my-
of
He's got
himself.
3 fans right here.
That's my story. So Aiden, tell us what you're watching.
He has 3 haters right here.
All right. I'm going to go in order. First one, the movie in the background. You see that shit?
Is that Toy Story?
No.
Wally.
No.
Reno?
No, this is Labyrinth.
Oh.
Fuck is
You
Labyrinth?
mean Maze Runner?
Yeah, I was
No.
gonna say the Maze Runner.
No, that movie sucks. I hate that movie.
I hate Maze Runner.
Maze Runner
I
said the
haven't
books
watched it in long
are
enough.
pretty good.
No, the
but then
books
I
are
stopped-
ass. I hate the books more.
I liked the first book. The second book's okay, and then I stopped reading at the third book because I got really mad at what they were doing. But the movies suck ass. But no, this is The Labyrinth. This is a movie. Who directed this movie again? Jim Henson, like from the Muppets.
Yo, from the Muppets and Saturday Night.
And Frank Oz is also there. And this movie,
from the Penguin.
no, actually, that's not.
Moist
him.
Critical?
This movie has the most nonsensical fucking plot. That's David Bowie, right? You know, the music
They
guy.
got David.
Yeah.
He's from music?
From
This
like
David
live.
He's
Bowie from music.
What do you mean?
Is there
His-
life on Mars?
You can see his penis for most of this movie. That's how
Okay, what is it?
but this movie is very weird, and it's also very good. It's a classic 80s movie where the plot
Class.
happens almost immediately and makes no goddamn sense.
Awesome.
There's a legitimate threat of being sent to the fart pond. And I'm not being facetious or anything. There is literally just a fart lake. They're like, "Oh no, if you fall in the fart lake, you're going to smell bad forever." And like that's how
No.
good the movie is.
so Aiden, what possessed you to watch this movie?
It was free on YouTube. Oh, I've seen this movie before. I did wanted to give it a rewatch as well. The visuals in the movie are
posterity.
really good. The it's Jim Henson puppet stuff. It's a very kind of trippy movie. I think it's really good. a really good movie. That's my opinion on that.
Really, because
What
everything
else
you
about-
said makes it sound like it's not a good movie.
That's a great movie.
It makes it sound like it's an Aiden Shoemaker movie.
Yeah.
It's not an Aiden Shoemaker movie.
And
This
those
was like a
movies are
legitimate-
kind of at a lower bar. So
No. What's the average rating on Letterboxd? The average rating on Letterboxd is 3.7. That is a good movie. Don't
that's
worry,
just
guys.
like 20,000 Aidens.
All right. The next movie I watched, I watched it on Halloween.
Spooky,
movie.
spooky, frightening,
spooky,
fright.
scary movie. So I watched the Cowboy Bebop movie.
Does take place during Halloween.
It does take place
Yeah.
on Halloween. And that movie is a much better ending to the show than the actual end of the show. I've said this before, but I hate everything around the girl, like the girlfriend and Vicious. The main villain is named Vicious, as if that doesn't sound like the most made up bad guy name ever. And everybody dies, and none of the main characters are in it, just Spike, and it sucks. And I hate it. But the movie is much better because everyone's in it, everyone does stuff, and it's just awesome. Like there's a Halloween parade with like a virus that like is gonna kill the entire city, and the main villain is, I don't know who I am, and we're all in purgatory, so I'm gonna kill us all and free us from this realm. And it's like, that's cool and compelling. And then he dies at the end, but is also redeemed a little bit because he's like, oh, I know who I am now, and life is worth living. Thanks, everybody. And then it's awesome, and then it has an awesome ending song, and it's great. What else did I see by myself? Coraline. I rewatched Coraline in 3D.
It is crazy to me how they like just re-released Coraline and now they're re-releasing it again.
Yeah. So that shit's so awesome in 3D. If you can do it, do it. The movie is made for 3D.
Yeah, I did in 3D for the first re-release.
It is made for 3D. I would 100% recommend it because half the movie is literally like, whoa, that's an amazing shot. And then the rest of it is just, like, I wasn't even paying attention to the dialogue. I was watching.
I've
things
watched
pop
enough
out of my
times,
eyes.
all the dialogue is memorized.
True. But all of the dialogue or all the visual was just in my face, in my brain forever.
That's what we call true filmmaking right there, you know? Just
Yeah.
visuals.
True. I watched Palm Springs. That's one of Beck's favorite
gonna get,
movies
like,
ever.
You did.
I'm really shocked Beck didn't see the director's follow-up movie Brothers on Amazon Prime.
I started it. I did not know it was the same thing as the Palm Springs guy.
Probably not as good, but
This came out this year?
I'll watch it now.
but no, Palm Springs is a great movie.
I thought it was great. I do like how Beck is like, I love time loop movies. When this movie is literally like the time loop is just a vessel and isn't actually Beck.
What do you mean?
Like the time loop is a vessel for the meaning of the story, but if you remove the time loop,
That's what every time loop
that
movie
is what every time loop movie is.
not if you do it right.
That-
Not if it's awesome.
Bro wants the characters to not grow at all in a time loop movie.
Exactly.
Aiden, what time loop movies are you watching?
I'm watching the Molly McGee time loop New Year's Day episode.
That did exist.
I'm watching
Yeah.
the Zach and Cody time loop episode.
So true.
Okay, I got a great transition.
But
Well,
no,
I
it's
thought-
a
I
great
thought-
movie though. It's a
I
really
thought-
fun ride.
It is an amazing movie, and I'm so glad I did not need to buy Aiden a disc copy of it.
No,
I gave Whiplash a good review.
it's kind of crazy that they just dropped it on like Hulu one day, and like I heard nothing about it beforehand. I just watched it on Hulu, and it was a great movie.
It was really good. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Aiden, your criticisms were just wrong.
Exactly. Anyway,
Like,
want to
is
hear
it-
more wrong Aiden opinions?
Wait, but
Oh,
Beck,
no.
is Palm Springs a 5 for you?
Palm Springs, yeah, it's a 5-star. But I mean, like, I'm fine with him giving it a 4.5. because like he seemed like, yeah, no, this was an amazing movie. For Whiplash, he was just like, guys, what was this movie? It was like, why didn't J.K. Simmons do this? And I was like, because this. And he was like, oh, but that's bad. And I'm like, dude, you just did not get the film. Okay,
Yeah.
Aiden, terrible opinion time.
Guys, I watched Unfrosted and I thought it was kind of funny.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
My parents watched it and they liked it. I have no idea.
no, back,
'cause
back.
I had seen terrible fucking reviews for
I
this.
mean, all the reviews are so bad.
Back. I watched half of Unfrosted. I stopped watching it. I was like, oh, I gotta go do like my laundry or something.
This is a crazy ass rating curve.
I can look at it. It's insane.
Hey, Aiden, I don't. Do you like it ironically? Because it's not funny. It's not funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's
It is
not
kind of funny.
It's Jerry
I-
Seinfeld 2024 funny. Which
I did laugh out loud in this movie more than I did Palm Springs.
Okay.
You're kidding me.
Oh,
No,
Okay.
I'm literally not.
Guys, I need to buy Aiden a disc copy of Palm Springs.
Beck,
I
how
don't
much money
think
are you
they-
spending on
I
new
don't
bits?
think the humor in Palm Springs was too stand out, Beck.
Honestly, yeah, it's more of a drama.
It has J.K. Simmons.
That doesn't automatically make it the funniest shit.
Yes, it
Guys,
does.
if it has
No.
J.K. Simmons, it's the most.
He's in
funny.
Portal 2.
He did do Portal 2. It is really funny in that one.
Think, Aiden. Think. What would you have if you didn't have Palm Springs?
Anyway, here's
Yeah.
what happens in Unfrosted. Jack shit. They make the Pop-Tart. And you know what? Pop-Tarts are pretty good. So like
He
thank God for
did
that.
Why is it
buy a
called
Pop-Tart for
Unfrosted
this
if
bit.
if they're like if it's not about Frosted Flakes?
That doesn't
What? Because Pop Tarts are also frosted. What?
I don't know. It just feels like
no, not the original one.
I guess, yeah, but still.
They make a joke about it. They're like, "What if we made them with frosting on them?" And they're like, "Nah."
So
Hmm.
it's,
I did
it's a
find the
good
movie,
movie?
pretty funny.
or
No,
what?
no, it's an ass movie, but I really liked it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
Beck, it is Aiden.
Well, listen, they have someone die in a Pop-Tart explosion. So like,
Okay, that sounds funny as the way you're
Beck,
describing
don't
it. but
fall for it.
I
Don't
think
fall for it.
there's some
Guys-
some way the movie fucks it up.
guys, this movie is filmed like an advertisement and a Nickelodeon original movie at the same time.
It's those two genres fit very well together. I think.
Yeah, that's what it. That's
Can you
what
even
it
call
looks
them
like.
genres?
Maybe. But the movie does really rely on cameos. Like a guy will show up and he's like, "Hey, I'm fucking
I'm Jack Black, baby.
I am Melissa McCarthy. My name is Hugh Grant and I'm in this movie." Literally fucking what's his name?
Channing Tatum.
No, who's the short guy? Peter
Jerry
Dinklage.
Seinfeld.
Peter Dinklage showed up.
They got Peter Dinklage in this movie.
That's what I said. He's the milkman.
He is in
It is a very funny movie. Like they have like the Cuban Missile Crisis, but it's actually about sugar instead of missiles.
Mm.
JFK is in this movie. Very cool.
Was he assassinated?
No,
This
but
is
they
sort of
did
like
talk.
pseudo
This
historical.
is the alternate timeline where he
comedy.
didn't get assassinated and he made Pop Tarts.
He didn't make Pop Tarts. Jerry Seinfeld made Pop Tarts.
So this is supposed to be a pseudo historical stupid comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pop Tarts are compared to like the space race.
Okay. Sounds hysterical.
Guys, if we don't win, it's kind of like that Tetris movie where they're like, guys, if we don't win the Pop Tart war, the Russians will take over the world.
Okay, but the thing is, Tetris, they played so much more seriously in Tetris.
They played it entirely serious. They like laid it out and they're like, guys, we have
The
Seriously.
Russians, it's like in the boys in the boat. If they don't win, Hitler will win the war.
Literally,
We
it was
need
boys in
someone
the
named
boat.
Al
It was quite
Urbison.
literally the boys in the boat lot. It was
Okay.
quite literally, if we do not win, if we win this, we will win the war.
Guys, Beckline single time.
I have one more.
In fact, that's your
technically.
entire
Okay.
life.
I know.
That was a really good roast. I'm really proud of myself for that one.
Yeah, no, you got me good, alright.
Good job, Eric.
Wow, I'm feeling.
That was
Anyway.
really good. Continue, Aiden.
Robert Zemeckis made another movie.
Here, I actually really
You
want
cannot talk about this.
Why?
Because I'm seeing it next week.
Oh my god!
I'm seeing it this weekend, Aiden.
I want to talk about it.
Aiden, next episode.
Okay, but what's your non-spoiler review of here?
When I went to see the second movie afterwards, I got really scared because the camera was.
Is moving around.
The camera moves.
I know, because the thing is about this movie, I'm hearing really bad reviews, like saying like if the camera doesn't move, like a review said, if the camera doesn't move, the story doesn't move. And I feel like there's some merit to that statement because I feel like
Yes,
because
but
like
at the same time they make
I mean, in a play, the camera doesn't move because you're just sitting in your seat.
they make a compelling story about like family and life and death, though.
I
like,
guess I
just-
have to see it. Maybe I'll watch
And, like,
overthinking. Right?
It is. I mean, I really enjoy. I can see why people don't enjoy it, but I liked the story. I liked the gimmick. It was weird at sometimes, and everything happening. That amount of stuff happening in that one room is crazy. In fact, I don't know if anyone saw my review, but I listed a bunch of things that just happen in that one room, and they range.
Yeah, I don't want to get spoiled for that. I did not read your review.
Back, maybe close your ears for 1 second. Then,
I will deafen.
No, because you'll disappear if you deafen.
here's one thing. Here's two things that happen in the
Right.
same room: the invention of the Lazy Boy recliner and Benjamin Franklin.
What the fuck?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the meteor crashing.
Dies. Penny dies.
The meteor crashing. A lot of funny things. Beck, you're
I'm
good.
back.
You're good. Beck.
Penny dies.
Penny does die in the
Okay.
movie.
Fuck!
Anyway, we'll talk about here next week when Beck watches it.
All right, my singles time.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't. remember the
I
controls at
want to
all.
talk very quickly about the Promised Neverland season 2. Now, I talked about this a while back. It's like the anime where like the kids are being like farmed and they need to escape.
Yeah.
So that was season 1, is they escape. And then season 2, before starting the show, I have been told that season 2 was one of the worst endings in TV history. So I'm like, should I watch it? It can't be that bad. So I
Bad?
started. And yes, it is. So season 2, their whole thing is like, okay, we escaped from the farm, but
Wait,
now
hold on. Wait,
we
Beck,
found
Beck,
out.
wait, hold on. Can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter right now. PlayStation tweeted this. Take a deep breath. Catch the Silo season 2 premiere
Yeah.
November 15th.
Wait, why did
with
PlayStation?
With
why did
a
PlayStation tweet
3-month
that?
Apple TV extended trial on PS5 and PS4.
Yeah, well, I guess you guys should do that.
Yeah,
We are excited for Silo this
There's
Friday.
a good chance I don't have Apple TV, so there's actually a good chance I'm not going to be able to watch it until my
no.
dad buys it again,
Someone
which
has
is
to
when
take
the
the
entire
brunt
show
of
is out
explaining
next
Silas
year.
not watching it again.
Oh no.
All right. But so I'm watching The Promised Neverland. Like season 1 is like they gotta escape the farm. But then in season 2, they're like, okay, we found out the farm is actually in the demon world, and we need to escape the demon world to the human world. So all of season 2 is them trying to go do that. And then big dramatic ending, they get to the portal to the human world, but the main character's like, we need to stay behind and fix the demon world. And we're like, okay, great. Set up for season 3. Looking really good. No. Instead, what they do is they start playing a montage with a bunch of frames where it's like they went to this town and then they did that. And here's the big final battle. One shot, they're standing on a cliff looking over at the Capitol. Next shot, it's a torn battlefield. Next shot, new queen being crowned. And then they go to the human world like, guys, we did it. So the manga like continues for like 10 more chapters after it was supposed to end, but they're just like, we don't really want to do that. Let's just play a montage of what happens.
I like it.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's where it's supposed to end, Beck.
That's not where it's supposed to end.
Mhm.
Okay, next thing I watched The Muppets 2011.
A different
Uh-oh.
Muppets movie? Wow.
He watched
I
another
did
one?
watch a different Muppets movie,
Now, Beck,
and
what? So thank God you watched the original before you watched this one, because this one literally is just the again.
yeah, they do mention the first one a lot.
And I think that's funny. I think that's a funny way to read.
I do think it is really good.
Like
Now,
yeah,
it pains me to say this,
yeah.
but for the past 18 years of my life, I have been saying Muppets Most Wanted was the best Muppets movie.
And now you're saying,
But I gotta say, The Muppets 2011 edges it out. Although I will hold strong and say Muppets Most Wanted has better songs.
that's entirely true. But I think that the first movie has like not like amazing songs. Like Life's a Happy Song. That one's kind of mid. Me Party's kind of okay. But it has some really good, like the redo of Rainbow Connection. I think that Man or Muppet is amazing.
That's
It
an
is
amazing
amazing.
song.
One of my favorite songs. I like that one in Spanish. That Man or Muppet in Spanish is amazing. I think my favorite song in the movie is Let's Talk About Me. Because it gives
That's the villain song.
That's the villain song. The full version of the song isn't in the, which is really sad because there's some really good gags and like actual like important stuff for the plot of the movie in the song.
Yeah.
And the full version of the song. So Beck, you know how the main says maniacal, right?
Yeah. You cut out for all that. I heard maniacal.
Yeah. So he says maniacal in the movie, right?
He does say maniacal.
In the
laugh,
full
yeah.
version of the song, it's revealed that he doesn't know how to laugh, and that's why he does that.
That's cool.
And the reason that he hates the Muppets is because they were at his 10th birthday party, and everyone laughed at him for not knowing how to laugh. And I just think that's incredible. And they also make a reference to they reference Kermit's song Being Green when he says it's easy having this much green, which is like to contrast Kermit saying it ain't easy being green, which is like Kermit's theme. Like if Rainbow Connection's his movie song, then that's his like everything else theme.
But overall, I really liked the movie. I thought it was really funny. It had a good emotional core. It had good songs. I really liked it.
But Beck, what if Walter didn't exist anymore? Then what?
I don't know.
Like, how much do you care about Walter?
Not much.
To be honest, when I watched Most Wanted, I just thought he was like a typical Muppet guy.
No, he's introduced in that movie, and that's
the origin.
And we never see him again.
I think Walter's really weak as a Muppet. I'll be honest.
Yeah, because I'm like, guys, they're building up for him to do this big like act, and then it was him whistling, and that was cool. But like, what else does he do?
Nothing.
Yeah,
he's really lame.
Okay. Next thing I watched, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Woo!
My teacher put this on Halloween, and almost everyone in my class knew it, and I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah. This movie
it's really good.
This movie is borderline unexplainable.
I know, yes. So
What is
I gotta say,
Rocky Picture Horror about, Beck?
Okay, so there's this couple.
You can't explain this movie.
Okay, but there's like gay Dr. Frankenstein. And
no,
then,
he's not gay. He's a transvestite. A sweet one at that.
My bad.
And he's also Tim Curry.
He is Tim Curry.
From it?
So he makes Frankenstein, but then he wants to fuck Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is, and also Meatloaf is in the movie.
Yeah. And then he breaks up the marriage of the couple because he sleeps with both of them on the same night by pretending to be the other person.
And
It
then
was
So
great.
you raped both of them?
No,
No,
he made
no, because then they
like,
realize and they still have sex with him.
Okay.
The songs are really good. It definitely feels like an 80s campy movie, and I really like that. All right, next thing. Godzilla Minus One.
Oh yeah.
I was like, they're re-releasing this in theaters, and then Nikola's watched all the Godzilla movies. I should see at least one Godzilla movie.
It was nowhere near us, rather, unfortunately.
Yeah. Because that's actually a really good theater movie. Because that's
So
that's
this was
pretty-
my first Godzilla movie.
Ever?
So I didn't know like anything about Godzilla.
You've
So like
never
in the
seen
first
anything
scene,
about Godzilla before?
What do you mean you don't know
What?
anything about Godzilla?
Godzilla is Godzilla.
He's a big
How the hell
well,
do
like
you-
I didn't know like all his abilities, you know?
he's a big
do you mean?
lizard that shoots fire. What do you mean?
It's not fire.
Okay, so I'm watching Godzilla Minus One,
It's
and the
atomic
first scene
breath,
is like
actually. It may or may
Godzilla
not be
is
spinal
like
fluid.
I don't know, like the height of like 3 planes, and we're like, that's not that impressive. Why is everyone like
Because that was
being like Godzilla's
pre-radiation.
good? And then he gets fucking nuked in the ocean. He becomes huge, and then randomly, like, I didn't not know he had the like atomic breath thing. I thought it was just breathing
Oh, so you
fire.
were just completely
So this-
surprised when he
So
fires
there's a
off a nuke?
random scene when he like charges his tail, turns blue, and nukes an entire fucking city.
Beck, it's like
Yeah,
you don't
I'm
know.
like, what the?
It's like you don't know he's a metaphor for the nuclear war from the 1945. You know, it's like you don't know that.
I did know that going in. I don't see how it like relates really.
It's more of a metaphor for the dangers of nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
But
It was made right
Yeah.
after Nagasaki and
30%
Hiroshima,
there.
Beck. So
Yeah.
he's like 50% there.
yeah,
That's
That's
but
what I
yeah,
really like about this
really
Godzilla
good.
is it's very much a return to
Like the
like,
original.
the proper
yeah, the
the
original.
proper idea of like Godzilla is of like a metaphor for the horrors of nuclear war instead of big monster fights other big monster.
Yeah, I kept waiting for King Kong to show up, and he never did.
Wait,
It
is
was really
Yeah, that's
Godzilla
King
Minus
Kong
One? Is
versus-
it like a foreign movie?
Yeah,
It's like a domestically produced Japanese movie.
yeah.
And they're gonna make a
And-
sequel to it, probably Godzilla 0, because this is -1.
But yeah, I think it's really good. I think it has like a very compelling like main character where it's like he was a kamikaze fighter, but then he like
But he didn't
kinda-
kamikaze. He was like
he didn't
was a
kamikaze,
coward.
and then now everyone like hates him because he didn't. And then in the end, he's like, I'm gonna kamikaze to like make up for not kamikazing in the war. But then he's like,
No, it's not
I'm
even
not
that. It's
gonna
that
do that.
the people one of the engineers on the island that he was supposed to help the people on the island, and the engineer from the island finally forgave him and gave him the means to not kill himself. They gave him the parachute,
yeah.
which is like also showing like
Okay.
forgiveness.
Next thing I watched,
No,
watched
but you missed the
Happy-
part where he sees the person in the hospital and she's like growing a tumor because of the black rain.
Did that happen in this movie?
Yes, that's like a prelude because that's the whole idea is that there's a new virus that's going to happen because of that atomic breath.
Oh,
That's like a whole thing for the next movie.
okay. Well, next movie I watched Happy Death Day to You.
Wow.
And I know Uri, you've seen this movie, right?
I saw it in theaters. That's the only time I've ever saw it. When it was like came out like a lot, like what it was 6 years ago, something like that.
So yeah,
It was like not as good as the
I-
original at all.
yeah. I was going with it for like the first part. I thought, hey, this is kind of cool because I really like it when movies play with the expectation of what happens. And in this movie, it's like, oh, she's back in the loop, but then it plays with our expectation. It's like stuff's different. Or like, oh, what's different? What changes? Is the killer's different now? Why is the killer different? who's the new killer? I thought all this was kind of cool, but then they just got so much into sciencey bullshit.
Yeah, I know, the science is like,
and random
what are they
convoluted
doing?
timeline stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just like
And okay, I want to explain to you there were 3 twists in the span of 1 minute. First, I'm just gonna spoil it.
Sure.
So the twist is the doctor was the killer in this movie. And in the same minute that we revealed that the doctor was the killer, we find the wife is also the wife of the doctor is also working as the killer. And then in the same minute as that, the doctor shoots his wife, being like, I want a divorce. And I'm like,
Well, that's a bad
What the
divorce. He killed her.
fuck?
Now, Beck,
so
they
yeah.
don't reveal who the killer is in the first movie, right? She just makes it out of the
They do.
Oh, who's the killer in the first movie?
Oh, I don't want to tell you.
Why?
you don't want to
'Cause
spoil.
you haven't seen it. Do you want to see it?
I mean, I don't really care at this point. It's okay.
Okay, it's the friend poisoned her with a cupcake. And in this,
Yeah, okay, so I did say
timeline.
I did say it was her friend, and you said no.
Yeah, because I didn't, because you said you wanted to watch it.
Well, yeah, but I'd like to see the movie, but I thought I knew the twist,
Okay,
and I was
but
confirming.
in this movie, the murderer friend kind of swaps places with the main character. Like in the first movie, Tree was cheating with the doctor. In this movie, the friend is cheating with the doctor. So they kind of swap roles, and she does not try to kill her this time. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like it
next.
did not make sense at all. This movie, like trying to.
It did not make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing I watched, Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm just like, this movie is like the 3rd highest grossing of all time. I should finally watch it. And
I've also
this
actually never watched
movie. I believe I watched it in 10
it.
separate sittings.
I have not seen either
It
of the
was
Avatars.
just pretty generic and boring. Like the thing is, this movie, amazing visuals, amazing world building, all that is amazing. The plot is just so generic, bro.
I
It's
like when the humans are
guys-
stupid and don't use proper military
Guys, this
tactics
guy,
and
the
lose.
son of the main guy, is in love with the chief's daughter. No way.
No way.
But he's also getting bullied by the chief's son. No. God, and then they finally get accepted. Oh my god, this is
Oh,
crazy.
And then they just reused the
Um,
same villain from the first one, which was
They literally reused the same
And
villain.
I don't
I'm
like that. I thought it was like,
and he
Nice.
gets away in the end, so he's probably gonna be the villain of the 3rd movie also.
and the 4th and the 5th probably.
Water, Avatar:
Yeah.
The Way of Air.
I think it's fire.
I think this is Fire and Smoke is what they're calling it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like amazing CGI and all that stuff, but it's like I watched Avatar 1. I was like, okay, pretty good movie. It's like Avatar 2 is like fine. I've just never been too invested in the Avatar movies, and like they're the most grossing movies of all time. It's kind of like a weird disparity. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really get it. It does not need to be 3 hours, bro. This was not a 3-hour movie. And also like the son dies in that, like the 3rd act, and I'm like, I did not care about this guy at all. Cause like they like try to introduce like 4 or 5 like children. I'm like, it took me so long to like finally like keep track of all of them. Cause like they develop 3 of them, and then one of them is just like always like leading them, and so you're like very clearly like, oh, this guy's just gonna die because he's had like no development. All right. Last thing I watched Invasion of the Bodysnatchers.
Did they snap?
Have any of you guys seen that?
No.
No.
Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Avatar. I haven't seen.
It's not a very interesting
them.
movie.
Yeah, it's like an
So
old
I
movie,
just
right?
won't talk about it. I just had to watch it for class.
It's like a metaphor
Did they
for
snap?
communism.
I think, yeah.
No, it
Did they
is.
snatch them with their bodies?
The thing is, it's when you fall asleep, they can take over your body. And I'm just like, why didn't you just like not fall asleep? It's so easy.
Yeah, that's so easy.
Beck,
Beck.
you would be taken instantly then.
That was my review. I'm like, I'm lasting maybe 6 hours, then I gotta take a
But
nap.
you were revealing that Beck is a communist.
How long
am.
long are they around for?
It's like 2 weeks.
Oh, so everyone's dead. You can't stay
Well,
awake.
yeah, it's no, it's like it's really weird. I don't.
Mm.
It's like I don't fully understand how the system works. But they have to like pick you, and then they take over your body. It's weird.
Just like a
What if you
America.
fall asleep and then and then you get shaken awake?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my
Okay.
that was my hypothetical about Palm Springs. I forgot to ask. What happens if you fall
Yeah.
asleep and then they shake you awake?
I know. I think it's instant
Um,
as soon as you fall asleep. You know.
Exactly, but then what if you're shaken awake? Are you just effectively dead once you fall asleep?
I think you're effectively dead.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, that's my single stuff.
Uri, what do you have
Uri.
for singles?
Well, what I have for singles, guys, I rewatched The Batman, but I'm not going to talk about it since I've talked about The Batman too much.
We have talked about
It's
this.
a good
And
movie.
he's got to talk about the penguin.
No, I'm getting to that
okay.
later. Guys,
I
what-
breathe too hard and my thing breaks. Oh my god.
what are your thoughts on Adam Sandler?
I think he's really funny sometimes.
I think
I'm waiting for them to
people
play
dunk on him
Gangnam
too much
Style.
sometimes.
I
I'm
do-
seeing a
but the-
review
yeah.
for something.
The
for
thing
something,
is,
Uri.
Adam Sandler movies are kind of like part of everyone's sort of childhood. I would say, like all those like classic Adam Sandler movies, like awesome movies like Bedtime Stories, Grown Ups, Big Daddy. Those are like great movies.
I'm waiting for them to play
You literally
Gangnam
didn't
Style.
say any of the good ones.
They're the
You
best
didn't-
ones.
Billy
What about
Madison,
Click?
Okay, no.
Happy Gilmore,
50 First Dates, Happy Gilmore. Those are good ones.
Billy Madison.
I haven't seen that
Click.
one.
Billy Madison's
Click.
great. Billy Madison is like Uri.
Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anger Management, great movie. All these are like really classic. So I rewatch because I always remember watching Grown Ups a lot when I was a kid.
Pixels. We forgot about Pixels.
Oh yeah. Pixels.
I do not like Pixels.
You don't fuck with a good Pixels.
I don't fuck with Pixels.
What do you mean?
Um,
Ackman's a bad guy?
and what are you? I bet you're a big Jack and Jill fan, Aiden.
I haven't seen Jack and Jill. Is that where he plays both?
I'm a
Jack
big
and Jill?
Dunkachino fan. That's the one scene I like from that movie.
Sorry. And then, yeah. So I rewatched Grown Ups, and it was like I remember it was fine. I remember it being like so much better in my youth. But
And your
Grown
youth?
Ups was fine, I guess. I don't know. I remember it being.
Yeah, but what is he waiting? Is he waiting for them to play Gangnam Style?
I don't know. But then, so I watched an Adam Sandler movie. Has anyone seen Uncut Gems? I haven't seen it, but
No.
I want to watch Uncut
Guys, my
Gems.
costume keeps falling apart. I'm not wearing it anymore.
I think you can take the costume off.
okay.
I'll keep the wig on, but I'm also taking off the gloves.
So I might get into a little bit of an Adam Sandler binge over the next few weeks, just for a reference there.
Tell us how Billy Madison goes.
Yeah. I watched The Founder. Pretty good movie. I've heard a lot about this.
I
movie.
like that movie.
Is that like
How's-
Unfrosted?
No, it's an actually good
No.
movie.
What's it about?
So it's about, the guy who
Unfrosted.
made McDonald's. And,
Oh no,
Donald?
I've seen that before. Yeah, it's good.
and so essentially the thing is about McDonald's, which I really like. So it's like, it's
It's
sort
not
of,
really about the guy that made McDonald's. It's about the guy that made McDonald's franchise.
yeah, who kind of made the franchise of
Yeah.
McDonald's. But essentially,
Even though that movie isn't completely true, it's similar, but it's not actually like he's not that bad of a guy in
yeah,
real life.
no, the movie portrays him to be kind of a really bad person with a name like Ray Kroc. You already know he's going to be an evil businessman in the movie. But I feel like it makes a good point about the sort of why McDonald's existed so well, because it was like saying, sort of the idea of the movie is like, you guys have something that I don't think you even realize. It's the name McDonald's. It's American. It sounds golden. No one's gonna eat at a place called Crocs.
True.
They'll buy Crocs, but they won't eat there.
True.
And so I thought it was like a really good movie. I thought it was like very hard. I think it's one of the better biopics I probably have seen. Even though if it might not be 100% true, I quite enjoyed the movie. And yeah, I rewatched Bo Burnham's Inside. This is,
Yeah.
I think this is my only 5-star
fire.
I've given. I really like this special, you know. I was depressed, so I had to watch this, obviously.
It's so weird to me how they call it a comedy special.
It's not.
Because I would not call it a comedy special.
It's
You mean
a
it's so
it's a
funny?
depressing take on the modern America and COVID era.
Yeah.
With songs.
I can't dodge this shit.
And so I really enjoy that. I think it's in my top 4 in Letterboxd. I really enjoyed sort of all the concept of it. If you like Bo Burnham, which I do, I think you'll like it. But if you don't, you're not going to vibe with it. I watched.
That was the first time I'd ever heard of Bo Burnham, was watching that.
Yeah, me too.
But I heard about like he made the movie 8th Grade, which I think was good. I watched A Nightmare on Elm Street on Halloween. Pretty okay movie. I don't know, for a classic that created in the horror genre, I thought it was like a very fine movie. The plot doesn't make sense at all, I think. Just like it becomes very
What do you mean?
convoluted with the dream things. It becomes like what was a dream or what was not a dream by the end of the movie. It's like doesn't really make sense.
Well, you
But-
just don't you don't fall asleep. It's that simple.
But yeah, no, I thought it was fine. Misery, part of my 4. I rewatched it. Great movie. Misery, top amazing movie. The Lego Batman, guys. This is like probably my top 3 Batman movies. I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Yeah,
I love this movie. I only have one problem with it. Is the moment it just turns into like a random crossover movie in the 3rd act. I really hate that part.
What do you mean? That's a great part
That
of the
is
movie.
fair.
I don't like that part.
Cameron,
Because I'm just like, you have all these Batman villains. Do those. Don't fucking put King Kong and Sauron in there.
yeah, that is
That's
true. It's
funny.
like that is true. Like I don't need to see Voldemort like kind of in there. Like
Yeah.
I would rather just that, but it's a pretty good just like Batman. It's the best Lego movie for me.
Yeah. It is a really amazing Batman movie.
I think it I don't know. I feel like that and the Lego movie are pretty tied for me. They're both amazing
This movie is
films.
way more better paced than the Lego movie. If you watch the Lego movie, you're gonna see it's insanely fast paced.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And this movie just
But
paced
also that's
well.
good.
I don't know. But top 3 Batman movies: Dark Knight, The Batman, Lego Batman.
True.
That's valid. I think it's probably the same for me.
Yeah. I've been getting back into the Planet of the Apes. I watched Dawn, made by the guy who made The Batman. Pretty awesome movie.
Oh, really?
That's not the one from this year, is it?
No, that's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I think.
Yes.
This is Dawn, and then next is War, and then Kingdom. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn, and War. They're one trilogy, and then Kingdom is a new trilogy they're gonna make. Sorry, the new
I see.
trilogy. So, but Dawn is a really fucking good movie. It's like you get to see Andy Serkis fully envelop Caesar in this movie. It's a really good movie. I don't know if any of you guys seen the Planet of the Apes movies, but you really gotta watch them. They're really good.
Is Caesar's the monkey or is he the guy?
He's the monkey.
He's the monkey.
No one cares about the human characters in this movie. They're nothing.
What about Dr. Zaius?
What about Kaisar?
Who?
Do you hate every chimp you see from chimpanzee to chimpanzee? Oh, they finally made a monkey out of me.
Old School. I watched Old School by the guy who made he made Joker 2, and he also made Old School. Todd Phillips. It's not a guy like
Is
trying to
this one better than Joker 2?
It is better than Joker 2. But it's just about a guy who does who's making he's making like a frat when he's like in his 30s or something. I don't know, it was okay. But it was better than Joker 2. Aiden, let's talk about Rumors.
Yeah, let's fucking talk about that shit. So, Rumors is a baffling movie.
I want to bring some context. So Beck and Nikola, have you heard of Rumors?
Nope.
I heard you guys talking about it, and I looked at it, and it was like the president's plane crashes, and they have to survive, right?
No,
the movie.
that's not it at all.
That's not in
Yeah,
any
I've
sense
never
of the
heard of
word.
this.
Anyway, I've been seeing this movie at my local theater. The trailer for these past I watched this 3 weeks ago. I've been watching it I saw the trailer for all the movies beforehand for oh, it could be this interesting political satire about says the G7's the world leaders come together to do this conference, and I thought okay, could be interesting. Look, trailer makes it sound really interesting, so I figured on a
I was hoping it would be a funny movie.
and so we'll get to how the movie is. But Aiden, what's your context for Rumors?
I saw my theater was gonna show it, and I said, "Wow, that plot looks interesting, and I would like to see that." And so then I went to see it.
And so, guys,
Makes sense.
it's
Oh, wait a minute! I did miss a single, by the way.
we'll do it after. But guys, this is it's
so
such
bad.
a weird movie. It's not very good. It's not very good.
terrible. In fact,
No, Aiden was all right, this might be my kind of humor. This movie for me. After I told Aiden it's not good, it was maybe it fits my humor. And I was like,
It's
Aiden,
my kind of humor.
Well,
I didn't
Aiden.
know what kind of movie it was.
I was like, Aiden, this is not gonna be your movie because it's not. If it's not
It was
my
not.
movie, it's definitely not gonna be your movie.
It was not my movie. That shit was so bad.
It was okay, guys. It's sort of this weird, sort of slightly satire movie, but nothing happens in the movie, and none of the plot lines make a lot of sense. So essentially, Aiden, do you want to describe what happens in this movie?
So here's what happens in the movie. The G7, which is the seven democracies
Of the world.
being.
Yeah, we know what the G7 is.
You don't know what the G7 is, do you?
I know what the G7
Yeah,
is.
Name them.
nations in the G7.
United States.
Yep.
Japan.
Yes.
Korea.
Oh.
Korea isn't in it?
No.
Oh, my bad. Is India in it?
No. There's no more Asian countries.
Really?
Why would India?
Okay, then yeah, France.
Yep.
Italy.
You're missing a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Britain.
Yeah.
UK, yeah.
It's basically, the 7 largest economies in the world.
And Canada. You've missed
Yeah.
Canada.
Okay, and so what's really
no one cares
interesting?
about Canada.
What's interesting about this movie? I just want to.
Yeah,
You say no one cares about
Wait a second.
Canada? He's the main character.
He's basically the main character of the movie.
Oh,
And also Germany. She's also there. So here's what happens. They go out into a gazebo
A gazebo.
and they're like, "All right, guys, let's write our thing that we have to say to everybody."
They keep mentioning
and-
throughout this entire movie, we have to make a plan. A plan. What are we gonna write in the plan?
To unite everybody and make it all good. And we get split into some groups. We get the French guy with Japan, and we get the Italy guy with Joe Biden, and we get
but the thing about the America is by a British
he's
guy.
British.
Which is kind of funny, but they never explain it.
It's not funny actually.
What's only
Okay.
about this movie that I liked about this movie from the trailer is they do this funny trailer joke in the trailer. It's you can't solve all of Canada's problems at once. Or the Canada guy is brooding or something. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Euthanasia.
But it's in the movie, it wasn't as funny.
Yeah, and there's a weird relationship with the Canada guy and the UK girl, and they don't do anything with that. And then after a while, there's zombies.
Zombies.
This is
or
a
something?
This is a zombie movie, Beck. This
Yeah.
is a
Oh.
zombie movie where zombies masturbate until they explode.
Yeah.
shit.
And then Beck, the whole movie is just
And then
them walking.
Canada gets sad, and then him and German lady have sex in the woods, and then France guy comes back and he's like, "Guys, I was by a zombie, and it's dark and the worst green screen you've ever seen." And they're like, "Oh no, nobody's here." So then they walk through the woods.
This
until
whole movie, and Nikola, this whole movie is just walking. It's just a lot of
they
walk.
just walk until the French guy, holy shit, just stops working. He's just like, guys, my leg, it's melted. And they're like, no, you're fine. And then he's not. They don't really explain why he's like dying of a sickness. He just is now.
The explanation is because he's French.
Okay, and the thing
Oh,
is about
yeah.
this movie, nothing is explained. Right at the end of the movie, I was like, "Oh, this makes sense."
Oh, that's
know.
why there are the zombies.
I don't
masturbating
understand
in
at
the
all what
woods.
happens in this movie.
Beck, here's the rest of the plot. America's like, no, I'm too old. Go on without me. And then they find another UK lady speaking like Swedish or something for some reason.
And
And then
they
she sets
find-
herself on fire.
They find a big brain back in the woods.
And then the second UK lady keeps talking about this person named Aster. And then they get a text message from Aster like, no, that's actually the pedophile bot that's here to find pedophiles. And then they're like, guys, what if we pretended to be pedophiles? That way someone can come save us.
This movie sounds
Legitimate
amazing.
plot point in the movie.
And then they just
It's-
This movie.
And then they
they
all
take-
make it to the White House, or not the White House, but like the Germany building. And there's this fat guy. His name is like Fat Man. Like I don't remember his name, but it's something like that. And he's like, guys, world's gone to shit. Here's some cyanide pills.
Yeah,
And then
let's go suicide.
And then everyone walks outside while the Canada guy speech that they've been writing this whole movie. And it makes no sense. Everything's on fire. And I think they all die, but I have no idea.
in the movie, Beck just ends with a flash, like looking at the zombies or something.
Oh, they get nuked.
No, they get masturbated until they explode. The zombies literally
Oh, they go to the orgy.
go. That's what the zombies do.
And
This
That's
movie
all they
sounds
do.
amazing.
it was just like
It's not.
such a. I felt like it was trying to be like
Maybe it's a Nikola humor movie.
It's not. It's not
it's
that
a
either.
nothing movie that makes no sense in a bunch of random. Beck, there is just
It's not like a Morbius. It's so bad it's funny.
Beck.
No, not at all.
It's like I barely understand what they're talking about. Half of the movie, like
Not even a Madam Web. It's so bad it's funny.
No.
Beck. There's just a
It's
brain
bad.
in the woods. A big brain.
There is
Big
just a big
brain.
brain in the woods. It's true.
And they're like, it's a woman's brain, probably. Why?
Because it's small and insignificant. Who knows?
So that's rumors.
It was ass.
All right, guys, time for the next group one.
Well,
Aiden, do
I
your
did forget
single.
about. I forgot
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
Aiden
I
single.
forgot about that. I watched Goodrich.
Oh, I didn't get to
With
see it. I
Mike-
wanted to see it, but
Yeah.
I didn't get to.
I thought it was pretty good.
What's good? What's Goodrich about?
It's about this guy. His name is Andy Goodrich. And he
Michael
owns-
Keaton.
He's Michael Keaton, and he has a business like a pay. He like has an art, and his wife randomly calls him in the middle of the night, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to rehab for 90 because I have a
Oh.
drug problem, and you're a terrible husband. We're getting divorced." And so then he's like, So then he has to take care of his kids. So he takes care of his kids, and then also his like daughter Mila Kunis. She's pregnant. So then he takes care of her, and he learns life lessons along. And it's like a bad person or bad parent becomes good parent kind of a story. But like at the same time, everything is going wrong for him. He loses his business in this movie. Like he's like having a hard time. It's not like an easy.
You should go watch.
Also
You
become a-
should go watch Michael Keaton, the founder. He's having a great time there.
Yeah, but he's just like he's always trying to help people, but like himself he never helps, which is very interesting. And then at the same time, you have Mila, who like at the end of the movie she breaks.
Aiden, step away from the
Watching-
mic. You're cutting out.
And you need to turn off the noise suppression.
Oh my god, fine. Okay, where did I? Okay, so Mila Kunis' character at the end of the movie, she breaks down in front of him and she's like talking about how he's been becoming this new person that's like good to people and his family, but then she's like, how come you were never like this when I was your daughter? Like she's a full grown person and he's still letting her down. Like he was late to take her to the doctors because
Oh,
she needed to be tested for whatever pregnancy thing. And like I thought that was an amazing scene on how even though he was of his life, it doesn't mean that like what he didn't do before was forgiven, you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
That was cool.
But he just got to keep moving forward.
I thought that was cool for like a
That's actually a reference to Whiplash when what's his name? He calls his girlfriend, but his girlfriend has already moved on.
Yeah.
it's not at all like at that
It is.
that at all.
It's
But-
exactly like Whiplash, Aiden.
But I thought that was cool for like because the movie overall has kind of a very stereotypical storyline. So having that kind of thing also was nice. But I thought it was really good.
I'll probably try to watch it.
If you can, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seems like an Uri movie. So yeah.
Yeah,
Group thing.
very cool. He does. This is also the one movie. There's a gay dad that he meets at some point in the movie, and I was like, I hope that they get into a romantic relationship as a joke in my head, and then they do actually later in the movie, and I'm like,
Let's go.
Damn.
Wait,
Called
Michael
it.
Keaton and the gay dad?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
He's gay?
No, he's not.
He's bisexual.
He's a very funny character. That dad is a very funny character. I did really like him in the movie.
Two singles I want
All
to
right.
say.
Oh, yeah.
So there's been these two TV shows I've been watching recently. There's a TV show on Apple TV Plus called Shrinking. It's like a comedy. Jason Segel, Harrison Ford. It's like he's like they're therapist at like at a practice, but in the beginning of the show, season 1, they were like doing. His wife died like months ago, and he's not connecting with his daughter anymore, and he wants to try his therapy in a different way. So he's going to help his patients like with like more alternative ways. So he helps this one guy and like moves him to his house and like different ways of helping people out. And so we see the troubles that come of that. So season 2 came out, and it's a pretty nice, warming comedy. If you like Ted Lasso, it's made by the guy Roy Kent, who in Ted Lasso, because he also worked on Ted Lasso too. It's sort of produced by the same team. It's the very same vibe, like trying to be like heartwarming in that vibe. If you like Ted Lasso, I'd highly recommend it. Drinking on Apple TV Plus.
Speaking of Apple TV Plus, we got I don't know if we talked about the Succession season 2 trailer coming out January.
Succession.
Oh no, Severance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exciting. We're probably gonna watch that when it comes out. And then guys, are you familiar? Do you guys know football at all?
Oh,
No.
You don't know any football at all. Well,
No.
there was a footballer. I think it was more than a couple of years ago now. That called Aaron Hernandez. He was known for being it was a tight end in the Patriots, but he killed some people, and he went to jail.
That was the very big twist.
And he killed some people, and he killed himself in jail.
I like it.
And then, so now they're doing like sort of the guy behind all the 911, American Horror Story, American Crime Story, all those. Ryan Murphy, big guy in the entertainment industry. The American Sports Story. So it's the biopic. It's the first season of American Sports Story. It's a biopic of Aaron Hernandez. So we get to see the rise and fall of Aaron Hernandez in the show. It does it pretty well. It doesn't like try to, I say, alter the story that much from what was known, I think. I just haven't done that much research on it. But it's a pretty good sort of retelling of the story, and I quite like it. I love those sort of biopics types of shows. I really like the O.J. Simpson one that they had about American Crime Story. So that's what I've been watching. The last episode comes out tomorrow or something. So, yeah. But
That's cool.
group, who wants to do the first group? Let's do Venom.
I'll do. Okay, yeah, we can do Venom.
We all watched Venom, right?
We all have watched Venom.
Venom.
The last
Eddie,
I did watch
we need a
first-
dance for Dancing Queen.
I did watch the first two
Eddie,
movies.
put in memories if I ever die, Eddie. I love the song Memories by Maroon 5, Eddie.
Eddie, I need to listen to Maroon 5.
Eddie, I'm a furry, Eddie.
Eddie, here's to the one that we know.
So this is my
Here's to the one that we know.
Oh.
And call the memories.
This-
And the memories bring back it.
So my
Guys,
thoughts
I
on the
don't
Venom
think-
movies.
I don't think these are bad movies. I think these are really funny and pretty good movies.
You
I
ate
don't
it.
think
These
yeah,
are
I agree
really
with Aiden.
funny.
These movies are kind of funny.
The
These
second-
movies
To
are
be
really
honest,
good.
I think the dancing queen scene in this movie is one of my favorite scenes from this year.
Oh, I get.
Even
Really?
though it's so stupid.
I
Like,
don't know.
why the hell would
it's
he
not
transform?
that good, Beck.
I know.
You
like,
guys don't fuck with dancing queen Venom as much as I
No,
do.
yeah, no. I mean, it's funny, it's good, but like,
But also, it's so stupid because, like, why would he do that? If the
Why
whole
would-
thing is
No,
he can't,
because they need
fully
the demon.
transform.
They need the guy to come to him. So he's like, nah, I'm gonna dance the dancing queen.
I don't know.
For
All
the
these,
plot.
they're funny, but
Oh,
yeah,
I see. It's
they're
the plot.
funny movies, but they're objectively bad movies.
sure. But
Um,
I really liked them. I thought
If
they
I
were
were to rank them, I'd go the Venom Last Dance was the worst one for me. The first
Really?
one, yeah, I didn't like it. Like I ranked them
I think
Venom 1,
I-
Venom 2,
I-
Venom 3.
mine's Venom 1, Venom 3, Venom 2. I think Carnage is boring.
Carnage is boring as shit.
I think Carnage is so boring.
I still need to. I like watched Carnage when it came out in theaters, but I don't remember like any of it.
Because it's boring.
like they do nothing with the character
Yeah.
of Carnage at all. In an interesting way, which is really sad because
I
like
did feel.
I don't know, because like
Yeah.
guys, they're like okay movies, but they're very symptomatic of the sort of Sony Spider villain era. And
Yeah.
And also, this movie randomly tries to set up a new big bad.
with
And I'm
Noel,
like-
I don't give a shit about Noel at all. He's not a threat.
Dude, I was so confused in the first 5 minutes of the movie when he just randomly drops like 8 paragraphs of exposition.
Oh yeah, I love that.
What the
I
fuck
literally
is this
turned to
bro
Aiden and I
say?
said, "Oh, I love the exposition dump when it's. I love exposition dumps in the beginning of movies."
Echolions was a man who didn't know how to breathe, but then he became the only breath.
No way.
A little exposition dump.
Okay, but overall, Venom Last Dance, a fun time.
It's a fun time, but also like a nothing movie for me.
And
Like,
And
also-
all-
So
I gotta
sad.
say, I bursted out laughing when I started playing Memories by Maroon 5.
I knew
I
they were
didn't have-
playing.
Memory-
I didn't have that spoiled for me, and it was so funny in theaters.
I knew there was a Maroon 5 song, but I thought it was gonna be like
Misery.
like Misery or something. But no, the funny one, Memories. That was really good. That was a really funny one. Does kind of suck that Venom is dead because Venom's an awesome character.
I know.
Okay,
it
the
was
thing
so
is-
sad.
What about the Venom movies that I think that could have made them more good movies? Like obviously Venom without Spider-Man is going to be kind of off, so you gotta accept that part of it. Spider-Man just not going to be in
Yeah.
it because like the thing is like they do this flip-floppy where it's like in the post-credit scenes of Venom, Leatherby, Carnage, like oh they're in the MCU. No, never mind, they're not in the MCU.
They immediately get. Oh no! I also I really like the
that's the
tequila
post-
scene.
That's the post-credit scene from Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, but it's like in
It's
this
in
movie-
it's in the second and third movie and then other third movie.
But I just like I thought it would be at least they'd do some with it. They did nothing with it. Which
They
is,
did nothing with it. No.
But I think what they should have gone with the route for after maybe realizing what the potential of the first one is, they could have just made it a buddy comedy movie
Yeah.
the whole time. None of this
100%.
none of this random Noel bullshit. Just Venom and Eddie
Yeah.
talking. That's the best part of any of the movies.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
like I don't need any.
You know, he voices
fighting.
both characters.
Yes,
He voices
I
both
that I
Venom
thought
and
that
Eddie.
was cool.
Yeah, but I think that it should have just been a buddy comedy movie. No, I don't even need superhero business. I need like just Eddie and Venom go to
Dancing to
Walmart,
Maroon 5.
and that's the whole movie. They just go to Walmart.
Because
Eddie,
obviously this is not
I need to gamble.
this is not the Venom from
Eddie,
the
I
comics.
need galaxy
at all.
gas.
This is not
Eddie,
the Venom from the
Eddie,
comics.
I need galaxy gas.
This is not the Venom from the comics. It's a different
No.
character at all. But they managed to create a pretty funny character. But they don't. I feel like they don't utilize it enough. And they should have
No.
just been these two guys, kind of like broing out, like doing random bullshit or something. Like
Do we think that Venom is actually no?
what? The Venom?
He's
No,
not dead.
No, he's not dead. Because like I'm hearing rumors
but
of
do
a
you think-
Sinister Six movie where it's like they
Yeah, I
fight
see it.
Noel and Madam Web and Morbius and all that. So they're probably just
Dude,
gonna bring it
that
back.
would sell one. That would be $1 billion movie. I guarantee.
But do you think he's coming to the MCU at all?
No, I think didn't they do like the thing where like a
No.
little bit of Venom was
I think there's
stayed
a
in the
higher
MCU.
chance of Morbius showing up in the MCU than
Or Venom?
over Venom. I think Madam Web over Venom.
That's crazy.
That's not gonna happen.
I think Morbius and Madam Web are gonna team up to make a portal and to jump into the MCU.
It just
I do think
with the
like
spider
a movie,
portal.
I do think a Sonyverse crossover movie with all the characters would be the best movie they could ever make.
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter.
I
Craven
want,
the Hunter
I want
hunting
like,
all of the villains.
I want like Avengers 2011, that one shot where like the camera spins all the way around all the characters. I want that, but with like Morbius and Madam Web.
Madam Web.
It's like,
and
it's
Sydney
like
Sweeney.
Madam
Madam
Web
Web.
in her wheelchair, just Eddie Brock as a guy, Morbius, but he's like burning in the sunlight because he's a vampire.
Craven the
That's what
Hunter
I
just
want.
being like,
Sydney Sweeney with her tits out.
True.
but no, it's just
I
like
think that would make the best
like,
Spider-Verse.
the Venom movies had so much like potential that I don't feel like
Wait,
they
but
really.
how is she gonna be? How is she gonna be the Madam Web character and Black Cat?
True.
I feel like the Venom movies had like a lot of potential, but they don't really.
Oh well,
fully-
Nikola, you say that, but there's like 4 characters in the recent Venom that are.
Yeah,
You cut out.
Yeah.
Well, Uri said yeah, so he got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got.
There are 4 characters that go,
The Black One.
but
He does say that. That is said. in
That's
the-
not fair
That
enough.
was
But that's the only
Which-
thing I'd
which
seen in this
one?
movie before I
Black
went in.
one.
is
okay.
that
but
line
Let me talk.
where he says, "Wait, but what are they looking for? The black one." And I was waiting for that, but then I missed it at the last second just before they said it, and I was so mad because I wanted to make a joke out of it.
But the thing is about the Venom movie, none of the other characters are interesting at all in the movie.
No.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
do not
much
care
of
about the
the other
hippies.
characters.
They also did like a thing where they try to kind of trick you with the MCU characters because they got like the guy who played Lizard from like Amazing Spider-Man 1 to be like
Yeah.
the father, and then Baron Mordo to be like the soldier guy. And so they
Oh yeah, and why was there a random woman that got struck by lightning that killed her brother?
I was also.
that
Why did
was
they bring-
so
you know,
random.
why did they bring the Ted Lasso girl?
And why did they just get
for
struck
this
by
movie?
lightning?
You know, it's interesting.
Because
Because that's the Ted Lasso girl.
But she got the
Oh,
Fortnite
it
skin.
is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did get the Fortnite skin.
Mm.
I know the Venom movies are kind of just nothing, but if you just focus on the Venom and Eddie part, they're hilarious movies. But if nothing else, yeah, I feel like there's so much potential they could have been. You know, it feels like they almost limped their way to 3 movies.
Yeah. I mean, the first one made $1 billion, so I think they really wanted to, like, you know, like make as money as they could.
okay, what's next?
What is
Anora.
We talking
So
about
next
We're gonna
up
do-
is Dan to Dan.
No,
No.
we're not doing Dan to Dan. We're doing
What do you mean? It's not
Anora.
I only have two group things. It's Dan to Dan and
we're doing
Fine, we can do Don to Don and then Penguin, and then we do it.
yet. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
He doesn't know about the naked women in next week's episode.
Anyway,
Now,
do you,
now
you
he's
wanna-
gotta finish it.
And you want to do an aura back?
Yeah, let's do Anora.
Let's do Anora. So guys, I knew this movie was going to be good when I watched the first trailer I ever saw in like theaters with Bex, and it was next to me. I was like, Bex,
I was also there.
yeah, but
No,
come
you
on.
weren't. It
I was.
was me and Uri.
What movie did you see without me?
No, you were there. It was for Didi, I think.
Yeah, it was for Didi.
Nikola was also there.
No, but
Okay.
you guys were like grabbing food and
Yeah,
shit.
I was talking to Beck. I was like, Beck. I knew this Beck was gonna be Beck's movie of the year after seeing the trailer. Like, yeah, this is gonna be Beck's movie of the year.
Yeah, no, we both looked at each other like, yeah, this is gonna be peak.
This is gonna be peak, and it was peak. This movie was
It was
amazing.
peak.
This movie was Aiden. Why are you shaking your head? You gave it a 4.
Yeah, I it's like a begrudgingly given.
Okay, you're gonna have to send him a disc of Anora, Beck.
I am gonna have to buy him a disc of Anora.
I don't think it's
thought-
even out on digital
I
yet.
thought it was really good, but I also thought it was boring as hell, and went on for way too long.
No, that's the
Disagree.
point. That's
The point is that
I-
it's boring as hell and went
I
on. for way
really
too long.
like the fact that like
I love
we
naturalistic
spend
movies.
so long in the time where it's like the bro is just gone, like Vanya is just not in there, so we kind of get in the same headspace as Annie, and then we're just like when she finally meets up again, it's like, wow,
Annie the
this
boy?
guy's a terrible guy.
I mean, I do like how it's representative. He lives life fast, and she was living it fast, and that all is like was rushed and a blur, and like shows how that wasn't a good thing that they got married and are together. And then
Yeah.
once he runs away, then it's like this is how life should be lived. I guess I don't know.
So, but let's
But-
talk
Yeah,
about the
this is who
movie.
he is.
Let's talk
It's
about
not
But then
gonna
it got
work, yeah.
boring to me. Then
Let's talk about the movie, guys. Before we talk about it, I want to say Beck kind of looks like Vanya, but a little
True.
worse.
Wow.
a little
Um,
worse. I like it.
Beck, if you mess up your hair, it could be good. You could look like Vanya. Second up is
His hair just is one blob, and it does not move from that one blob.
anyway. So okay, Nikola. Anora is about like a stripper / sex worker, and she's doing her job. We see her life. Her name is Anora. She calls herself Annie because like she doesn't want to like say her full name. And
Annie the boys.
Because she doesn't like her name.
no, and so we get to see finally there is a Russian kid who's like a rich Russian kid. He's like he wanted someone Russian, and so she speaks like the Russian she knows, and like we see how like he wants to get more of her. He like invites her to like his New Year's party. The thing about this movie is that actually you could say this movie in like very simple terms, like because not a lot does happen in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they do with it, I think like really smart. Because the thing is like
Put that hairnet away.
so the first 45 minutes of the movie, I guess, or maybe like the first hour, is sort of like this sort of beautiful short film about like two people from different sides falling in love together. Is why it's kind
Yeah,
of
and
as it.
then it turns into just a pure comedy.
And it's sort of
It's not that funny though.
You didn't find it funny?
I thought it was
My
really-
entire theater was bursting out
Yeah.
laughing
It's
for the
pretty
entire
dry.
second
It's
half.
pretty dry humor.
I like dry humor.
I'm not like, oh, then you would have loved Rumors.
I don't like Rumors though.
Oh yeah.
This was substantially more funny than Rumors.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. But I didn't think it was like entirely we ever.
But and so essentially evolves from there. It's just like it's like he takes her to Vegas. I love the naturalistic vibe of this movie so much. It felt like almost like just watching like they recorded real people's lives and just like
Yeah.
the acting in this movie is amazing. I would say the acting is
Yeah.
amazing. Mikey Madison's really good as an orc. What's interesting, guys, is that in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, for the Manson family, he has like a few young actors play the Manson family, and all of them are really big right now. Like Margaret Qualley,
yeah.
Sydney Sweeney,
I kept
Austin
like
Butler.
looking at like the IMDb's of like all these actors. I'm like, they were all in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
But and so we get to see how it. So this movie is sort of I love this movie as sort of the rise and fall of the ideology of Anora, really. Where it's all like, she's a sex worker in this movie, and so there's a lot of graphic sex scenes. But I'm going to say something. I never felt any of the sex scenes particularly sexy at all because they felt very
Yeah.
mechanical.
Probably like
I got
that's
a
the point.
boner
That
at
was the
beginning
point, 'cause, like,
of that.
The thing about this,
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing with the classroom.
so the thing is, because you don't really find it sexy, because like it becomes like for her, sex worker just becomes work. It becomes so mechanical that you don't even get like. It doesn't feel like you don't get like any like sexy vibe from it at all, because it just feels like very like straightforward and mechanical. And that's really the point of the movie. Short is like showing like it's a very much a commentary on the sex workers in the movie, the industry as a whole. It just becomes like sex for profit. It's like love for profit, and then almost it kind of tricks you into thinking that is it real, but ultimately it's not real.
Yeah. I do think it's really good at tricking you into think it is real and then being like, what, you idiot? It was not real at all.
And so, Beck, I don't know about you, but I felt like I really liked the character of Vanya for the first hour. I felt he was like a really nice guy, right?
Yeah, he seemed like a chill guy. But then, like, it feels like you're seeing the side of him and, like, there's something else to him. And then it just, like, you kind of just, like, it's hard for me because I was thinking during that the entire movie was like, at what point did it turn from like love or from like money to love? Because Anora, she does cry in the end, not because like, I don't know, she lost all this money, but because like she was actually like kind of in love.
Because the thing is, yeah, kind of like the movie kind of manipulates it. Like you don't really realize when Anora really falls in love with him, because you assume it's a lot of money, but then somehow it just becomes love. And so like, I don't know if that's a fault of the movie. I feel like maybe that's one flaw of the movie. It's like we didn't get like a full realization from Anora that she is in love with him, but maybe that's the point. I don't know.
I think that's the point where it's like it can interpret to itself when it changed.
But then Nikola essentially the next like. So like he's like a Russian, like a guy whose his dad has like is very or like a what was it, like a Russian mafia guy is what I'm assuming, or what was it?
I think it was like
Rich
like
guy?
a probably just like a
Oh
business
shit! I
or
think
an
I know the
oligarch.
movie you're talking about. I think I remember the trailer now.
Was it like a Russian rich guy or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was like a crime guy.
Oh my god! It just clicked. I know exactly the movie you're talking about now.
Okay, great.
I completely remember the trailer now. I completely know exactly what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's like you get to see like essentially his parents do not want him to be with like this marrying a sex worker, because they end up marrying in Vegas, and like they want an annulment, and they get these like the guys like the guys who came to America to end the annulment, and this what I thought was
Is this a brand new movie? I feel like I've watched a movie with this exact plot like 5 years ago.
no, it's a brand new movie.
Okay.
And so essentially you get to what I thought was going to be like a quick scene became like a 30-minute.
It was like a 30-minute scene.
It became the rest of the movie.
Well, I would say this movie is like 3 parts actually. When they eventually find Vanya, this middle part, and then the first like 45-minute short film. But
that's my favorite part of the movie. The part where it just turns into.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry. But yeah, and so essentially this middle part becomes where like the guys they come into like the house which is actually the parents' house of Vanya, the guy, and like they're like you have to stop this marriage, but then he just like runs away. He like Anora and
the guy slips on ice chasing after him.
Super
like,
embarrassing. I
I feel
love
like-
how embarrassing they are.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, they're like, you 2 grown men against little girl, how you lose?
Yeah, and it's like a really, really funny movie, and like I thought it was like I love the humor in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
But essentially it just becomes this part where it's like it essentially becomes a home invasion, where like they're in like the home, and like they like tie up Anora and all that stuff. And what I thought was indicative of the movie was like when he ran away, leaving Anora behind. He did not give a shit about her.
Yeah, he did not.
Because like I thought this was gonna be like a love story, this movie, but then this movie kind of like switches, and we don't fully know what Vanya is eventually. Because I feel like we're with Anora in this movie. This movie is from perspective, and we're realizing that he maybe just ran away to get help or something, you know?
No, I never thought that for a second.
I thought because we were with Anora's perspective. But we get that, and so like essentially it just becomes a movie, becomes like sort of like a screwball comedy of her and the Russian guys trying to find Vanya. And I thought it was like a
Yeah.
really fun time just watching them kind of
That was a really fun time.
tour around. I love the naturalistic vibe of this movie. Sean Baker is like, he's done all his movies are sort of like this very real, very raw type of movies. And like, they're like, they feel like very natural. And I love that about this movie. I love that the scenes, like at first I was with you, Aiden, like, is this scene taking too long? But then it became so long, I realized, oh, this is just part of the movie now. And I have to accept that.
Yeah.
And once I did accept that that's just part of the movie, I had a great time with it. And so essentially, where it gets to the point, Nikola, is that this movie sort of ends off with like they finally find Vanya, but he's just drunk out of his mind. He's not care, and they make them get an annulment, but they have to do it in Vegas because you can only get annulled in the state you were married in. And essentially, he's like he does it with, like no hassle at all. He just like he's like she's like at the airport at the airplane like talk to me like a man, Vanya. It's like, of course we're getting divorced. Like he did not give a shit, and that was like really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. What were your thoughts, guys, on this part?
I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. I thought it had a great emotional core. I think this is definitely going to be like one of the best picture nominees. I think.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, and then I want to get into this character in the movie. So this character, you felt like the main two, Vanya and like Anora, you got these two characters, but then this character just appeared in the movie, and then once he started appearing, you couldn't really stop thinking. He appeared creeped very slowly into the movie. But then once he was in there, he was
Yeah.
like full force in the movie, and he's kind of one of the greatest characters in the
Yeah.
movie. Igor, I love Igor.
I say that, but he's also
He's like the nicest guy.
He
ever.
becomes
He
the
is, but he's
second lead.
also-
Yeah.
He's also like really stupid and like really not a good person.
He's not, but he's
No, he's a great person.
What are you talking? Did
He is
you
a bit
watch the same
psychopathic.
30-minute scene when he's holding her down, borderline sexually assaulting her?
well, that becomes a joke in the movie, Aiden.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Of course,
He
the
has
joke was
rapey
sexual
eyes.
assault. Ah, I didn't even think about that.
It seems like he's just trying to do his job, but he has no idea what to do, so he's like just doing it so wrong.
And
And he's like trying to be honest, like, please stay still.
and I love his character in the movie where it's all like eventually becomes the second lead of the movie, replacing Vanya in a way. And
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, where like they fall in love, kind of.
well, not
Yeah,
really.
but I didn't like that.
No,
Not
I
really.
would say they
It's
fall in
weird.
love. Even I'll talk about my thoughts about the last scene of the movie, but he just becomes where he's the only one that actually pays her mind. Like she's going through all this shit. Like she becomes like she realizes her lover just does not care a shit about her, and he's the only one that actually cares. And at the annulment in Vegas, and like he's like you should give an apology to her, and her parent and the mom is like no. And it's like it shows that he's the only one that actually care about her in some way, and he actually goes with her back to.
And I really like the way he saves the ring.
Yeah,
that was really sweet.
That was beautiful. It's like it sort of tricks you into thinking, it's more of like a story between these two, really. For a guy, and she really hated him for a lot of the movie where he was just trying to apologize to her, and I loved this character back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so but essentially, this movie sort of it's the rise and fall of this ideology of Anora's, and just destroys Anora. And I'm like, what I thought was really interesting was that like she almost sort of like she like hides away from Anora, like the real person, instead of like more to be this Annie, she doesn't want to be Anora.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really great character writing. This movie just like it kind of blew me out of the water back. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It blew me away when I watched it also. Okay, next we
Wait,
live
I
in
wa-
time.
Oh,
You got more?
I just a little bit. I want to
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about the ending.
Oh yeah, the ending.
Talk about the ending.
So the ending is a really, really interesting point. Whereas all like eventually, she's in the car and like he gives her. This is where I think he gave her the ring, and she's like, this is the thing that actually matters to her because like she got the ring and like this showed her love, but then like it sort of becomes almost like this twisted thing where it's all like she starts like having sex with him because the only thing she can like show gratitude for is with sex, because she's been sort of conditioned to like believe that. And I thought it was a really smart choice where like he when he tries to kiss her, then she slaps him, because it shows like it's sort of the thing in the bar. It's like no touching, and like in the like her work, no touching. And so it shows like when he tries to actually go for real connection, she can't handle that, She can only do this mechanical like thing, and she can't do any other types of thing. And then she just breaks down crying. And I thought that was the perfect moment to end the film there.
Yeah, and then
I-
he like hugs her.
I
and is
knew
like,
from
"Be
about
nice to
half.
her."
I knew from about halfway through the movie that whenever the credits came, they would just come and there would be no sound.
Yeah.
It was kind of
It is that type of movie.
yeah.
Yeah, like wait. Boom.
No Beck Lines credit sequence in this movie.
No.
Yeah, they should have hired me.
But no, it was such a fantastic film in my opinion. I don't know if you guys have any lasting thoughts about this, but yeah.
Overall, I think like of the films that will probably be nominated for Best Picture, I think this should win.
Aiden?
Because like
I mean, I thought it was really good, like all around. I just found it kind of boring.
And
But it was
that's
still
fair. I would say that's fair because I think a lot of people might find this movie boring.
Yeah.
I mean, cinematography was really good. Acting was amazing. I liked just like how the film looked and what it represents. I suppose it's just not for me.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
not
thought
an
it was
80s
really
movie, so to say.
exactly. Cheese said exactly.
Beck, there's only two types of movies in the world: Uri movies and 80s
Okay.
movies.
Exactly. Sometimes they overlap, but
Sometimes.
not all.
The
Yeah.
Apprentice.
All right. Well,
Let's talk about
We Live in
Nicola's.
Time.
Let's talk about Nicola's favorite movie, We Live in Time.
Nikola has
Yeah.
not
Does
seen.
love that
My
movie.
favorite movie.
He didn't. see
Let's
that.
not do an in-depth recap.
Why not?
And I have not watched it yet.
It is.
I thought this movie was incredible.
I
All
thought this
right.
movie was pretty good. I didn't like it as much as Anora, but I really like We Live in Time. I thought it did get a little too fucky with all the overlapping timelines, time sections. Too much for me a bit. There's like so many, but I enjoyed it quite thoroughly because it's like it plays with the idea of like when you have a movie non-chronological order, it's like sometimes the fact that you know something else is that other scene's going to work out well, because like when they were like broke up, you knew
Yeah.
they were going to get back together. So
Yeah.
but it's sort of beautiful.
It also like gives you a lot of like trying to like piece together the story on your own. It's like a
That's
little
also
game, and I like that.
I thought they did a really good job at it because a lot of that's bad. You should not have done that. Like when she learns she has to get a surgery and she chooses between not having kids and then it's like, okay, this is the decision that leads to her death at the end of the movie. And you like watch that happen, which is like a pretty cool thing that you can do with this kind of movie.
Yeah.
So, but
And-
Aiden, since I talked a lot, you can talk about this movie. So, what is this movie about, really?
This movie is about the two hottest people in the world banging and dying of cancer. And you know what? It's really good. There's some contrived parts. Like I feel like if Florence Pugh's character just came out and said, "Hey, I'm doing chef thing. Let's delay the wedding." Andrew Garfield would probably be like, "Oi, mate, that's quite all right. We'll get that ready. We'll get that all ship shape in a jiffy." And then everything would probably be okay. But the fact that she kept it a secret for so long was where it kind of lost me. But then he does just come to the thing anyway and support her anyway.
I think one of the saddest scenes was when he was throwing away the wedding invites.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
So,
Because they don't do a lot with his character outside of him getting trashed.
yeah, no. So essentially, this movie just follows Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh's characters as they fall in love and like they grow the relationship and like the eventual death of Florence Pugh at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And they have their daughter. It's
But
like,
we never see her die.
okay,
Well,
Beck.
she disappears. She fades away, and then the movie ends without her in the final scene. In addition,
I mean, she could just be turning off
In
screen.
addition, Beck, they got a dog, which he said they would for ease of death.
Oh, I mean,
No, they say they kill
Say
the
what-
dog before the mom dies, so it's easier.
Exactly. But I very much
Yeah, did you guys cry in this movie? Or
I feel
Uh,
like I could have if I wasn't.
I've heard a
myself.
lot of people in my theater crying.
I was
Hurry,
not.
Did you?
No, I know that my review says that, but I didn't. The people next to me definitely did though. They definitely did. No, they actually did because I was seeing like girls around me just like. And,
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. I mean, it was very much a sad movie.
It's very much a sad movie, but it's also kind of like a hopeful movie in a way. You know, it's like her spirit
Yeah.
does live on in both the culinary world and the family world in both elements. I thought that was really important that they were able to like sort of balance it out. I thought they were going to go with a hopeful ending where she doesn't die. Like I thought for a
No.
little bit, but then I realized not. She's dying. This woman.
Nah, this is a art film. She has to die.
Yeah, which almost kind of ruined it for me for a bit. But I realized it's sort of maybe the point that they talk about legacy in this movie. So, her legacy lives on. It's like, and also I thought I know I said the chronological thing kind of messed me up, but I didn't mind it too much because it was very easy to follow. Unlike something like I say Challengers, which is probably a little harder to follow in timeline wise.
Yeah. I'll be honest, guys. The We Live in Time and Here have a lot of the same kind of like themes in them.
So
Especially with
so the wife dies.
No. Well.
The wife
no.
maybe dies.
Well, no, but they do both play with time and play with life and death and play with
Do they have a birth scene?
yes. Yeah, they do.
The birth
I
in the middle
love
of the
the birth
gas
scene.
station was a really cool scene.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that I think was probably my favorite scene in the movie. It was like so action packed, so
That
intense.
scene is so good. Immediately cut to month. Like
You're
the
being
very
fine.
next scene is like such good juxtaposition.
Yeah, it was a really, really good movie. It was like such a like a great time watching this movie. I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nikola, you should really watch it.
Yeah.
I rewatched Trap, guys, on
True.
on
Oh,
Max,
nice.
and it was like a little less good the second time. I would say it's much better in theaters. I think most movies are just better in theaters.
Yeah.
And that's just true no matter what movie I think. Ryan's World, amazing in theaters, you know?
Yeah, no.
But I'm
I
going to
can't-
say, it's insane how lucky this guy is in Trap.
Yeah, no.
So lucky.
Dude, he is like, what is this? This is, dude, out of the 20,000 people in the stadium, he finds her uncle and like, hey, my daughter has leukemia. We want to, I do say he also plays, he is a smart guy and they do play to that, but he's such an insanely lucky character. The butcher. Yeah, but it was still great.
Uri, do you
time.
want to? Oh,
Yeah,
do you
Matt,
want
can we
to
talk about
end
the
with the
penguin?
big finale?
let's talk about the fucking penguin, Nikola.
Oh yeah, finally
Nikola,
I can talk.
I love this episode. I thought it was this is enough for
This was probably one of the best finales in TV
I think it
in
cements the penguin as one of
at
the.
least this year.
Sorry.
I think this show is also one of the best shows in the last, and well, definitely the best show of this year. It might even be one of the best shows of the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, this was in a no, this was insanely good ending for the show. It's like it really builds up into what I think the Batman Part 2 is gonna be like. He's not gonna be the villain of the Batman
Yeah.
Part 2. He's gonna be definitely a
I like he's gonna be the villain of Batman 3. I think
Nah,
it's like because he's.
I think
he
they're gonna
has-
do Joker.
I think it was 5 or 6 scenes in the second movie, and he is attached to the third movie.
I think they're gonna do Joker through the third one and someone else for like the second one.
I guess.
I think maybe Hush.
I
for the
like how
second
they
one.
ended it with him with they're saying, "Oh, there's nothing in your way now," and then it goes to the Batman because his theme is something in.
So, but let's
So
talk about this movie,
stupid.
guys. Full
Yeah,
spoilers
this show.
ahead.
Yeah.
Full spoilers ahead.
The one thing I heard this was really good. I also heard like they that the main guy does something really bad.
So yeah,
So,
we're gonna talk
Here's
about
the
it.
thing in this episode. I'll talk about when we get there, but it was not that unexpected to me.
No, it was. I
was like,
expected it, but not the way they did it. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, once we finally, like, I was like, in the beginning, I was like, okay. Halfway through the show, I was like, maybe he'll survive. By the time we got to this episode, I'm like, it's 50-50 if he survives.
So
We get to the scene, and I'm like, okay, they're by themselves, sitting in the middle of nowhere at the middle of night. He's dying.
yeah.
There's no way he survives this.
So let's talk about. We missed this 6 and episode 7. So let's talk about what happened in those
Yeah.
episodes. I'll briefly explain. So in 6,
You can do the recap.
So in 6, Oz's like thing is running up. He's doing very well with his Bliss drug company, and Sophia and Simon working together. We see like sort of a fatherly bond between Sophia and Maroney, who was put in jail by Carmine Falcone. Like that was the big drug bust that was mentioned in the Batman. And he's out, he's working, and we get to see like he's sort of like the father she's never had. And they're trying to find Oz. And as Oz like tries to like hustle his way out of shit, he's trying to get he's like this whole show is just Oz trying to like sort of hustle his way into things, and it's so funny because it never feels forced because it always feels like he has the right pieces to work his moves. And so we get to see how he's sort of like trying to get power, and because like that downtown Crown Point of Gotham has like no power back, and so he tells like a congressman to bring back power. And so he finally does that. And episode 6 ends up with like Vic. So Vic is taking care of his demented mom. She has like Lewy body dementia. And like, so she sort of makes her kind of like phase out of things. And something she promises the Penguin to do to her is like, if she ever becomes like a vegetable, he has to kill her. He has to take her out, you know? She says, promise me to that. And like the end of episode 6 ends up with, so Sophia finds one of sort of Oz's sort of prostitute sex worker girlfriend kind of, and she tells him like, you deserve a shot, Sophia. And so she tells him where the
From the
penguin,
first couple episodes,
where the penguin is, and she comes back later in like the end of the show, so I want to just bring that up. And so she finally finds like
I ain't gonna lie, in the ending, I did not think that was her. I was like, is that her or is he like hallucinating? I couldn't tell what they were trying to do there.
No, it was like her.
But it was definitely her. It was definitely her. She was just
but I'll explain that later. No spoilers
like her,
until
yeah.
the end. And so the episode 6, Beck and Aiden, it ends up with like Sophia finding Victor, which is like the guy who's been all this show. He's working. He's like the young kid that like the Penguin's sort of mentoring, and like he's seeing how like he's fully ingratiated himself with Oz. Like it's sort of become a father-son dynamic where like Victor is sort of slightly becoming darker as a character as Oz sort of gets more in the way. It's like, but does maybe Victor bring out the light side of Oz and sort of dynamic? And like throughout this whole show, we do see that the Penguin do anything for his mother, and he's really like he's a mama's boy at heart. Really, very much a Tony Soprano type of character with his mom. So episode 6 ends up with Sophia finding Victor and the mom in their hiding place because they're looking for them all across Gotham. And essentially, it starts off with episode 7 starts off with they took Sophia, they knocked out Victor, and the Penguin finds Victor in the place, and he like tell him go find all the gangs because early in episode 6 he's like he managed to make a coalition of all the big gangs in Gotham, and that's a really important point. So he's made a big coalition of all the gangs in Gotham. And so then we get to see episode 7 also starts off with a huge reveal. Because early in the show, the Penguin kept saying that, he had older brothers and his brothers were taken by the city of Gotham.
No.
And but then we get a little flashback of young Oz, and the guy they got for young Oz was insanely good. You really felt he was like a young Oz, and like we see how even since he was a young child, Oz has always wanted his mama's attention, all to himself. He doesn't want it on the other brothers. So one day they're like playing like sort of like tag or something, and they go down into the sewers, his brothers, And because they know he can't like go down the sewers because he has like a bum
I
leg.
think it was like hide and go seek, where
Yeah.
it's like you have to tag them, but it's also hide and seek.
And so because he has a bum leg, he can't really go down like the ladder. And it's like, you know what, fuck you. And he closes the sewers on them.
Here's the thing: I don't think he purposefully locked them.
No,
in.
dude, he definitely locked them in.
On purpose.
I would
though?
say purpose, yeah. Like I would say the more he doesn't do anything to go back and tell is the more he becomes accountable for his actions. So doesn't you guys
Yeah, no, I get that, but I think in the moment he didn't purposefully do it.
But guys, so he locks his brothers in and then he just walks away and he tells them, oh, they went to the movies. And then guys, they die in the sewers. He essentially killed his brothers.
Yeah, because he's real like that.
And like he is the devil, guys. He's been this way since he was a child. And so he just like now he gets all his mother's attention to himself. And so essentially episode, and then it picks back in the modern time. He finds Vic goes to get the people, and then Salvatore Maroni comes into the apartment and he kidnaps the penguin and he takes him to like his bliss drug place, and then but he manages to sort of maneuver things while in the drug laboratory, and he manages his guys to take over Maroni's guys, and then it ends up to a really climactic fight with the Salvatore Maroni and the penguin. It's like this is what's all been leading up to, and then Maroni just fucking dies of a heart attack. That's it. He just did. And I thought it was really smart because it kind of shows I really like when shows do sort of a realistic kind of things. It's and then even the penguin's all like, fuck you. No, get up. I beat you. I beat you. It's like, fuck. It's sort of how
and then he mag dumps him.
So it's sort of, and he just it's sort of how Logan Roy died in succession. You thought he's going to die in a big sort of way. He just fucking dies on the airplane. So it's sort of he just dies out of a heart attack. And I thought it was really smart, Nick. I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it was really interesting.
I don't know. It was kind of weird, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know how to say this without pissing you off. I don't really like it when characters
I like it.
just do that, where they're just talking and talking and like that. I don't know. I noticed the same thing in that final scene of what's it called? Furiosa, where they're having a conversation and it's the climax where he's stuck in the desert and she's berating him and stuff, and it's oh, what really happened? I was kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing to me. I don't like it when characters are just having conversations before they kill somebody. I feel especially Oz's character or Furiosa's character, it would have made more sense for them to just kill them, and then not really much else than that. I don't see Oz as a big showboater.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oz is a
Especially
huge
with the way-
showboater.
No, but not with the way that Salvatore died as well.
I feel like it was smart because
His
it kind of
reaction did not
removes
feel
power from
fitting.
Oz. So,
I don't know. I don't feel like it fit his character at all in that scene.
well, I think it does because I feel like because he's always been underlooked his whole life, and so he wants to do this
Yeah, but that's the way he died. It does, I don't know. It just wouldn't make sense for anybody to act that way. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I
to me.
think I really liked it. But anyway, and so essentially he goes from there, and guys, this whole thing going on. So they keep trying to infiltrate Francis's mind, and they're they're trying to get into her because she has dementia back, and
Yeah.
his mom, and so they're trying to infiltrate her, and they're figuring out some information about Jack and Benny, his older brothers. They're trying to use that to their advantage, and but essentially, Sophia's realizing that maybe she needs to find a different way to defeat the penguin. So she sends a car. She says let's meet up. She sends a car into the drug station, and she knows oh, he's probably going to attack her. He opens the car. She's not there, and so it's a coat bag. It looks like his mother's coat in a a body bag. He opens up the coat. It's a bomb.
It's 60 pounds of
And
explosives.
then it blows up the drug laboratory, and he escapes. Ironically, hiding in the same place his brothers died in, and because he did it under.
That is pretty ironic.
And so he saves himself, but then at the end of episode 7, he gets knocked out by one of Sophia's cronies, and then in the start of episode 8, he's kidnapped by Sophia, and so we get another sort of interesting pivotal flashback in the beginning of episode 8, where episode 8 essentially covers like it's sort of a flashback. It's also sort of in the mind of dementia. Francis, I'd sort of akin it to like the BoJack Horseman episode with BoJack's mom.
Yeah.
She's sort of
Time Zero.
It's kind of like that in a way, where it's just like it's her in like her old form, but it's in her old memories and something like that. Sort of like a mix of time, and like she's seeing how she's talking to this like the famous like mob guy that Oz mentions in Oz mentions in like the first episode. Rex Calabrese is like, this guy was a legend, and they even in the recap for like this episode he says to Penguin, says like, we're gonna be legends to Vic as they're building a drug empire. So she's like yeah, and so she talks to Rex, and it's revealed that she knows that the Penguin, she knows that Oz killed her other in this flashback, that she knows Oz killed her other sons. And she's like, Rex, I can't live with this devil in my house. And so it kind of recontextualizes their whole relationship. Like she knows how much of a devil Oz was. And like, she's saying, like, they're going to go to like, he says, there is one way I could do it. And she's like saying, like, there's one way I can get rid of like Oz, like the other way, like he's putting out a hit on her child.
Oh my god.
And so, but she never actually goes through with it.
Yeah, but his child is the devil.
Yeah. And because she never really goes through with it. Because, like, we see when they go back to, like, Monroe's, like, the bar area, she, like, Rex is there, and she's like, Rex is going to take you home. But seemingly, as we all know, like, she doesn't go through with putting out the hit. Because sort of this thing was like, she knows she needed to do this before he caused like harm to anybody else. But it's like she takes one more step, and like eventually she never lets Oz die, and it becomes too late. And it becomes a point where you realize she fucking hates Oz, and she's always hated Oz, her child, for this shit. She's always sort of hidden her feelings, but now that she has her dementia, she can't really hide it. And obviously, so they kidnap Oz, Sophia, and they show him in front of his mom, and like they do this thing where they torture his mom right in front of the Penguin, or right in front of Oz, and like this was probably my favorite scene in the episode, where it's all like they take like a cigar cutter and they put it on Francis, the mom's finger, and like they tell Oz, if you admit to what you were doing about the Jack and Benny, that you killed them, I will stop like try to chop off your mom's finger. But they're doing it, and she's like, Sophia's like telling Oz, like, do it, and he's like, no, this is fake. He's like, he is not admitting this shit at all. And like, he would definitely let his mom get her finger chopped off. And it only stops when the mom says, I know you did it. I always knew you did it. And then she gets up and she breaks a bottle and she stabs Oz.
Ooh.
Wow. I know a guy named Nicky cigar cutter.
What?
I knew
We
someone.
heard Nikki and cigar cutter.
No, I know a guy named Ricky Stanicki cigar cutter one time.
Oh yeah, I know a guy named Ricky Sticky. He pops off with a cigar cutter.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
decisions, baby. But essentially, so eventually, you get to see how like, okay, Oz, like, he was like basically in love with his mother in a way, but he never actually gave a shit about his mother. He just used his mother for his own actions, like to just justify his own actions. Like, he just wanted to kill his brother, so he killed his brothers to do it,
Yeah.
And so it shows that he always used his mother as an excuse, and I love that. Eventually, he uses the advantage to sort of like,
I didn't really see it that way.
I would see it as
I saw it more that like he would not at all ever admit that he killed his brothers until his mom finally admitted that like she knew that he did it. And after that is when he decides to let go of all family ties, which is why.
yeah. But I still
happens.
think he would do anything to anybody though, and like I feel like he truly is the devil.
I think he just cares more about himself than he cares about others.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point.
But no, it's like he's like this guy. By the end of the show, they say you're not gonna like the Penguin, and after the end of this episode, you fucking hate. At least for me, I did not like the Penguin at all. And the show is like an origin story for the Penguin essentially, because essentially it goes on. Vic finally manages to get like the coalition, but they don't really help him at all to save Oz. and he manages to get his mom into because she trips his mom in the while he manages to escape from Sophia because after he gets stabbed, he manages to use that leverage the situation to escape with his mom. He gets her to a hospital, and Vic helps him like with his wound, and but eventually there's an underling for like the Asian gang of Gotham, and he's like he contacts Vic. And he's like, because earlier in the episode, Vic talked to the coalition of like the gangs. He's like, Oz helped you, you know? And they're like, all the gang leaders, they don't care. But then like one of the like the second hand in command for like the Asian gang, they're like the Triad, I think. And like, you know, you're right about Oz, and you're right. And so he sort of starts to plan a hatch, him, like the underling and Vic. And eventually, but the Oz finally figures out a way to sort of fix all his problems. Whereas, like, he goes to a councilman in the city. And is like, you know, I have a scapegoat. You can get I have a plan. You gotta make me the leader mob guy in the city. You know, so he works out a plan where he's gonna work, and then eventually, like he gets involved with the plan with the underling and Vic, and so we see that Corey goes off screen, and eventually Sophia offers all the gang leaders that if you find, because Sophia eventually realizes that what's great about the Sophia character is she eventually realizes that, you know, Gotham is just nothing for her. She just needs to leave this place, you know? Like, it's like a bunch of just men just like not giving, like treating her poorly. And she thought she could be different, but he doesn't. So she decides to leave Gotham and he burns the Falcone mansion.
Ooh.
And then she realized, but
You know, she literally did promise to give that mansion to the whoever gets Oz.
and then the only thing she needs for closure is to kill Oz, and then she'll leave, you know? And guys, a fate worse for death for Sophia Falcone is to go back to Arkham.
Go back to Arkham.
And so essentially,
with the freaky ass psychiatrist.
so essentially, we find that the leader of the Triad, he brings Oz to Sophia, and she's like, "Good job, you earned it now." But then the underling for the Triad, he kills the boss of the Triad, and then it goes a bunch of montages where it's all like the second in command of all the gangs. They kill all the gang leaders, and now Oz is essentially in control. And so he takes Sophia, and like you think he's going to kill Sophia, and then like light flashes on her, and it's a bunch of cops, and they're taking her back to Arkham.
Oh.
And that's worse for death for her. You know, she fucking hates Arkham. And then we get a little bit of a Batman thing where it's all like, you know, her doctor, freaky ass doctor, comes in like, you have a letter from Selena Kyle. She says she's your half sister, and we all know that's Catwoman. So, and so then, essentially, you know, Vic, guys, without Vic, the Penguin would be dead 10 times over. He saved his ass so many times, and then they're like,
yeah, but he failed the speech tech.
And then they're like, you know, he's gonna, like, he's saving, like, they're sitting on, like, a bench in front of the water, and, like, you know, he says,
So let me actually explain this scene. So basically, it's finally, like, the end of the thing. They finally won. They're sitting together, and they're looking at the view of Gotham by the water. And they're talking, and Vic is talking, and he's basically said, he fails the speech tech. He says, you know, you're like family to me.
Oh.
That was the wrong thing to say because, you know, Penguin does not like his family. So he says, so Penguin is like, damn, and then starts choking him. And he chokes him out.
And then
he's like, and the entire time he's like, I can't have family ties anymore. You're just dragging me down.
He's begging, please, Oz, please.
Which is funny because that means his last word was please, which was also his first words in the show.
That's nice.
And then, like,
so
he
then
finally dies,
the Penguin kills him.
and he throws his, like, ID in the water, and he'll probably just die in an unmarked grave.
No, we have to remember, he takes his cash, and then he throws the water.
Yeah.
And then he throws the ID in the water.
And, like, he's probably going to die in an unmarked grave. It's like, earlier in the episode, they said, these are going to be legends. But no, it's going to be Penguin and just some...
No, he was going to be legend.
Yeah, and everyone else
he
is nobody.
Cobblepot.
And Vic he dies a nobody. And that's, like, so brutal. And this is the moment where I fucking hate the Penguin. And, like, hate the Penguin for this. And
Which makes I don't know. That's like I think that's a good setup for Batman too.
it's an amazing setup where it's all like, guys, and then he's like, he says to the
Or now
councilman,
he's the
he's
kingpin.
the
Yeah.
kingpin of underground Gotham. He's like, guys, it's so happy to me. He has like his penguin like suit, and then he doesn't wear it, but he carries like the top hat. And
the
finally-
cane.
No,
and
he
the
was wearing the
monocle.
tuxedo.
he wearing a tuxedo. He's like holding the top hat, and he goes up to the penthouse in Gotham. Which throughout the entire show, he says to his mom, "I'm going to get you a penthouse in Gotham, Mama." And and then he's finally there. He's in a vegetative state, something that he always wanted to tell Oz, like, "Kill me if I'm in a vegetative state." And he's like, but he just can't let her go. And so then she has like a tear out of her eye, which Oz interprets as like, "Yeah, Mama, you did it. I finally got you to the penthouse."
I didn't see the tear in her
No,
eye.
there's a tear in her eye, and it's like, "Mama, I finally get the penthouse." But for most people, you would probably assume that like she's fucking disgusted. If there's any like brain behind in her vegetative state, she's probably disgusted by Oz. And then
Yeah.
the creepiest shit ever, where he goes into like the main room of the penthouse and like he dances with his prostitute girlfriend, and she's dressed as the mom. And like he's telling her to like say it, "You're proud of me. Tell me you love me." And then it's like it shows that he's just like a twisted fuck. Whereas like maybe in a different show, this might have been like a happy moment for like this romance or something. But no, this is like a demented thing. And like he says,
In what world would having
no, like I'm saying
having
like
them dress
being
up
with
as your mother?
no, like
be a
being with like your romantic
happy
interest
moment?
in the movie, dancing at the end, like this dance, this final dance. Like it would be like a nice moment like in the movie, but in this show it's twisted. And then he says, "I'm the king of Gotham, like nothing can stop me now." And then you cut out of Gotham.
Nothing can get in your way.
And then guys, the bat signal flashes in the sky, and then it's over.
The bat signal, like from Batman.
And this is such an amazing show. It built up the Batman Part 2 so well. I loved it. I think it's the best DC show ever made.
Bro hasn't seen the Justice League.
Bro hasn't seen DC Legends of Tomorrow.
I have
Bro has not watched Kite Man.
I like the part where the penguin kills somebody because they were chewing gum while carrying his mother's dead body.
And so it just shows he's just a real character, and they didn't need a season 2 at all for this. They might just to flesh out the characters.
I don't think there's going to be a second.
But I
season.
definitely
There's
see
no
how they
reason to
might
make a
use
second
the
season.
pictures of Sophia and the penguin in Batman Part 2.
Sophia's definitely coming back. There's a reason she got a letter from Selena.
And so we're gonna see how that evolves. I think it's a must watch for people interested in the Batman. It's such a great show. Best DC.
I think it's a must watch in general.
Yeah.
It's just a really good show.
It's a great show, great character work. I had a thorough time watching it every week. It was my favorite like HBO Sunday. Great time. An excellent character writing. I loved it. And like it's just a great sort of ending. It's like you really hate the penguin now, He fully becomes the penguin.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to say? Are we done?
All right, I guess we're done.
I guess we're done.
Always use Celsius. We'll see you next week.
Always shit your pants.
What's the
we'll see
wreck,
you next.
guys? What's the wreck?
Bye.
The wreck is shitting your pants.
Shrek 2.
Shrek
I think
2.
watch the penguin.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.